Yes, good afternoon. It's match day. We're back. It's been 2 weeks since we played. By the way, I'm bloody cold. Sorry, just anyone wondering why I'm wearing a massive jumper. It's really, really cold. I hope you are all well. We are playing in a London derby away to West Ham, a place where it's not really been a good hunting ground for Tottenham, has it? In the last, I think it's 6 years since we won at West Ham, and that was Jose Mourinho on his first ever Spurs game. If anyone remembers that, I think it was 3-2. I want to say it was 3-2. But today is a different day. Today is a different day. And can we get the season back on track after the defeat to Bournemouth at White Hart Lane 2 weeks ago? I'll keep you updated with all of the scores around the country. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. I'll keep you updated with all of the scores around the country. As it is half time, I think the games are about to kick off in the Premier League for the second half. Currently, Bournemouth beating Brighton 1-0, thanks to a really good goal by Alex Scott. You also have Newcastle beating Wolves 1-0, and it was Nick Vodemar, or Vodemade, or however you say his name. You guys very quiet in the chat. Very, very quiet. What's happened? I've got questions. I've gone on holiday, come back, and it's as though I'm a forgotten YouTuber. Hardly anyone talking, hardly anyone watching these days. What is going on? Say something. Say hello, people. Literally, the last message was 2 minutes ago. Yes, it's who we are, mate. It's who we are. Big up to each and every one of you. We'll do some hellos in a minute. On Loan Watch, we're going to do Loan Watch. I know that Will Lancashire grabbed a goal today for Oxford as they drew 2-2 with Leicester City. Donnelly and Phillips both on the bench for Stoke. As I said, whenever my man Lubo tells me Donnelly should have stayed at Spurs, he can't even get in the Stoke team. Phillips on the bench as well. And Mikey Moore is playing for Rangers today, but Rangers are losing. And this will be the 5th league game in a row without a win, unless they can turn it around. And my app is telling me that Mikey Moore is not playing well. I don't know. I'm not watching the game, but not a great day other than Lancashire. Not a great day for the kids out on loan. But don't worry about the kids. What about the first team? Well, we've got a game, haven't we? We've got a game, and I'm guessing the team news will be with us in about 10 minutes. Let me just double check that's right. Oh, hang on. What's going on? Hang on. What's going on here? Hang on. I don't know what's going in. What's going on here? Why I want it? 1 second. Sorry. Log in. There we go. Sorry, I'm just going to the Spurs Tottenham Hotspur official. Let's have a look. And yeah, the team is not out yet. The last thing that was posted was a picture of the London Stadium. So Tottenham Hotspur away at West Ham. Need a win, don't we? We really, really do need a win today. It was a really, really poor performance against Bournemouth. And, you know, Thomas Frank has come out and said as such. He said it was, I believe the word he used was, hang on, let me read you what was said by Thomas Frank. He said, when we played Bournemouth, it was a horrendous performance. Post-match is the biggest learning. I watched the match back and it didn't get better. I promise you that I learned from that. I didn't get it right. I didn't get it right. By the way, Brighton have equalised at Bournemouth. Karu Mitoma has just scored for Brighton. So Bournemouth won, Brighton won. That means that the only team that are currently winning in the Premier League are Newcastle United. Everton are 0-0 with Villa. Leeds away at Fulham are 0-0, and Palace Sunderland is 0-0, and neither team had a shot on target in the first half. So Aston Villa not winning still, not scored in their first 3.5 games. But let's move to Tottenham. Let's move to Tottenham Hotspur. Who starts today? There's been a lot of speculation about which players start and which players don't. Lots of people talking today that we're going to see Papa Sarr start in midfield alongside Paulinho, and Bentancur won't play. With Xavi Simons, Johnson, Kudus, and Richarlison. I don't know that. That's just what I'm seeing and hearing. Could be complete codswallop. Everyone likes a bit of codswallop, don't they? But as of yet, I can't give you the team news as of yet. Alex Scott is a very good player, isn't he, Alex Scott? I like Alex Scott. By the way, who played the match bingo today? Who played the match bingo? Let me know, guys. Let me know who played on the match bingo. I've done terribly so far this afternoon on that. But Adogi, does he start today? Does Jed Spence start at right back, or does Jed Spence come out the team? A lot of ifs, buts, and maybes. People asking about me doing an ACCA today. Yeah, my ACCA has died a death. I've got Coventry to beat Norwich, and they're 1-0 down. I've got Rangers to beat Hearts, and they're 1-0 down. I've got Plymouth, Luton to beat Plymouth, and Plymouth are 2-1 up. So yeah, my ACCA today is terrible. Arsenal 3-0. Let's be fair, it should have probably been 5 or 6. They absolutely dominated that game earlier, didn't they? And I tell you what a difference it makes when a team have 2 good wingers. Madueke and Eze, I thought were superb earlier. And that's what I want on our wings, which is why I really, really wanted a left winger of real quality. But that sees Arsenal top of the table for the time being anyway. As it stands, Tottenham Hotspur are in 7th. Obviously, we've got the game to play today, but at the moment, as it stands, we're in 7th place below Bournemouth, Sunderland, and Everton. And Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea are the top 3. Luton have just equalised against Plymouth for anyone that cares, but not a lot of goals about today. Not a lot of goals around today. By the way, yeah, I did watch the first half, should we say, of Everton Villa, and Jack Grealish looked superb. So hands up all the people that said Jack Grealish wasn't good enough for Tottenham. Hands up. Any of you people that said you wouldn't have taken Jack Grealish at Tottenham Hotspur, hang your heads in shame. Oh, a nice bit of water. It feels very quiet in the world of football at the moment. I don't feel the energy. It's a game. It's a game day. I haven't really felt the energy across social media and YouTube today. I don't know. Maybe everyone is on a low after the international breaks. By the way, if you see me looking this way, I'm not being rude. It's because I've got Gillette Soccer Saturday on. So seeing all the scores come through. Big up to Gary. Said, yeah, we need to go for Savio or someone of that quality in January. We do. We desperately do. We desperately do. And Plymouth have gone down to 10 men, by the way. So Luton 2, Plymouth 2, and Plymouth are down to 10 men. So that one might turn around. Crew 1, Barnet 0. Tommy O'Reilly has scored. Tommy O'Reilly. By the way, don't forget, okjersey.com for anyone that would like replica shirts. They're very good quality. Trust me, I've got a number of them. I've got a number of them here right now. Look, got a number of really good quality replica shirts. Look at this one. This is an interesting one, isn't it? Look at this. Look at that. With a snake. Look at that. It's interesting, isn't it? So don't forget, okjersey.com. Either go to okjersey.com, the website, or go on to the barcode and scan using the QR code, so QR code and scan. And also match bingo. If you want to play the match bingo, it's good fun. Perchy and I were playing it earlier. We both lost, but match bingo, just scan the QR code, then download the app and use the code FHTV. And if you are going to purchase an OK jersey, as per the scrolling line at the bottom, just type in Sava, SAVVA. You lot, smash the like button. Come on, let's get some energy from somewhere. Only 48 likes. Smash that like button. Barnsley 2, Reading 1, for anyone that cares about League One. Barnsley 2, Reading 1. Davis Keylor Dunn has scored the goal. Talk to me. What's going to be the Spurs lineup today? Give me your 11s, as I believe the team news should be out in about a minute's time. We've not got it yet. I can't give you either team at the moment, but we will get to it in a minute. To be fair, that is true. There is a massive protest going on in London. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands up there. I mean, some people were saying there might be 1 million there, but hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So big up to each and every one of you. Queen Ellie is in the house. Sava, you're giving a call to Wolfie to commiserate. That's 4 losses and has versus Arsenal. No, I did tune in to Wolfie after the show, after the game, to see what he was saying. And he wasn't impressed. But look, it's not Ange's team yet. I mean, you all know me. You know I don't rate Ange, but at the moment, he's going to need time, isn't he? But they looked really, really poor today, Nottingham Forest, didn't they? Real Madrid are 2-0 up with 10 men. Real Madrid. I know Mbappe scored. I saw that. Let's see. Guys, girls, smash that like button. You've got to smash that like button. Only 57 likes. There's over 200 of you in here. Big up to Jonathan, who has said praying for a Simmons start. I think we will see Xavi. Xavi Simmons. I think we will. Will we see Mawani? I've got a feeling we won't see Mawani today. I've got a feeling we won't see Mawani. Let me know in the chat, guys. Very quiet. You lot, let me know. What's your 11 going to be? I think that the 11 is going to be, let's go with this. Let me change. Hang on. I'm just going to quickly change this. I think we're going to see this. And I think we're going to see this. Now, this isn't what I want to see, but this is what I think we will see today. I think we will see, let me remove that. There we go. That's clever, isn't it? There we go. Bump, bump, bump. Let's remove that and get rid of that. And then I'm going to share my screen. I think this is what we're going to see. If you can all see that. No, you can't. There we go. Let me put myself to the side. I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven and Spence, Sarr and Paulinho, Johnson, Simmons, Kudus, Richarlison. I could be completely wrong. And I will let you know as soon as the teams come out. I don't think they're out yet. I've not got them yet. Normally, isn't it an hour and 15 minutes before kickoff? Just refreshing the page. Is the team out? No, it's not there at the moment. So I think we're going to see that. Does anyone agree with me? Anyone? I don't know. Let's remove that. Let's get this screen back on. It all feels very quiet, doesn't it? It all feels very quiet. Hang on. Has that worked? No, that's not worked. Has that worked? There we go. We're back. So that's what I think the team is going to be. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's see what the team is going to be. The team is out. Let's see how close I was. So Vicario in goal. The team is going to be Porro at right back, Spence at left back, Van de Ven and Romero, Bergval and Sarr, and Paulinho with Kudus, Tel and Xavi. Interesting. Matisse Tel starts today. Interesting team, that. So I'm guessing Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look. Hang on. I'm going to bring this up on the screen and we can all work this out together. 1 second. Let's bring this up on the screen. There we go. So there we go. There we go. So that's the team for today. So Vicario in goal. It's going to be Porro at right back, Spence at left back with Romero and Van der Ven. Okay, that all makes sense. So then you've got Sarr, like I thought, and Paulinho, but Bergval probably in the 10 with Xavi Simons on the left, Tell up front, and Kudus on the right. Interesting. Not sure unless he plays, no, it's going to have to be Tell up front, isn't it? It's going to have to be Tell up front. Unless we play a different sort of formation. I'm not sure. Maybe Tell and Kudus up top. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can put it into my lineup. So the bench, by the way, I know some of you won't be able to see that. It's quite small. It's Kinski, Danso, Richarlison, Udogie, Johnson, Odeber, Bentancur, Davis, and Kolo Muani. So that's a very, very interesting team for me. That's a very, very interesting team for me. Not really sure how I feel about that. So yeah, my app is saying that Sarr and Paulinho are in the 2, Kudus on the right, Simons on the left, Bergval behind Tell. Not sure I like that. Hey, if Thomas Frank thinks it's going to work, let's see what he does. The West Ham team is Hermanson in goal. Hang on, let's go back to so I can see you guys. Let's remove that. And now let's put the script. Sorry, always got to do these little bits and bobs. Here we go. And let's go to Watchalong. There we go. The West Ham team is Hermanson in goal, Walker-Peters, Mavropanos, Kilman, and Juve. Ward, Prowse, and Fernandez with Bowen, Souček, Somerville, and Paqueta. I'm not sure how I feel. I'm not sure. Not sure how I feel about that. Now, listen, it could be a masterstroke. It could be an absolute masterstroke. Bergval in the kind of forward pushing area. We'll see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'll be honest. I would have liked to have seen Xavi Simons start in the 10. I feel a little bit disappointed that his debut is going to be off the left. Now, we know he plays off the left a lot. I'm not saying he's not a left-sided player as well as a playmaker, but I'm not sure how I feel. Not sure how I feel. And I'll get to some of your comments about this very, very shortly. First of all, big up to AJS. Said, big up, Sava. Big up to you as well. Maybe he's throwing Tell a bone after leaving him out of the Champions League games. Look, I'll be honest. I don't think Solanke and Richarlison are great anyway. So show us what you've got, Tell. Show us today what you've got. You know, there can't always be excuses. Let's see how good he is. Possibly you're right. Possibly it is to say, listen, possibly it is to say, listen, I know I left you out, but show me what you can do in the Premier League. I don't know. Listen, he's the manager. He's going to live and die by his decisions. And I mean metaphorically, live and die. I don't mean, actually live or die. But listen, these are his decisions, right, AJS? These are his decisions. So for all we know, that could be the perfect formula. For all we know, that could be the perfect formula. Maybe Simons is going to spend a lot of time sort of cutting inside. Sorry, loads of people always send me WhatsApp. And yeah, lots of people are saying that Richarlison only came back from Brazil yesterday, which is probably why he's not starting. I mean, I'll be honest, I can't say I'm too sad about Richarlison not starting. I don't particularly rate him. Dan said, I thought there was a good chance of Xavi on the left wing. Strange lineup, though. Yeah, I mean, look, if Richarlison only flew back yesterday, I get it. it is what it is. Let's see. He's going to live and die by the result. If he's got it wrong, he's got it wrong. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Maybe this, Jonathan. Absolutely, maybe this. The team shouts out Champions League in mind. Hope it don't backfire. Look. I mean, look. He's got players on the bench, hasn't he? You know, if we look at that bench, you've got Bentancur you can bring on. You've got Richarlison that you can bring on. You've got Kolo Muani that you can bring on. So, you know, it's not, if it doesn't work, it's the end of the world, but it's we'll see. I've gone for 4-1 Spurs. So I need my man, Matisse Tell, to chip in with a few goals. But what we do have now, let's look at the positives of this lineup. We have two very good wide players in Simmons and Kudus. We actually have some strength out wide. The big question for me is going to be from the middle, is Bergvall that guy? Now, Danny and I talked about this yesterday. Big up, Dan. Dan, let me know if you want to come on. By the way, let me know if you want to come on. Just let me know on here. We talked about this yesterday where, you know, if Bergvall does play, has he got that creativity? We know he's good with the ball carrying. We know he drives forward. Has he got that? And we're going to see today. We're going to see. Maybe Muani starts Wednesday. Maybe that's why he's not starting today. He hasn't played a lot of football. And we have to trust the manager. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Bruno starting for Newcastle. Yeah, listen, I don't know. I'm just, Ash, you know me, I'm just throwing theories out there. I genuinely do not know. I'm just throwing some theories out there. I agree with all the time. I agree with all the time up apart from Tell. All the lineup, do you mean instead of time? Yeah, listen, other than Tell, I don't think it's far off from what some people were saying. And to be fair, my man Ash messaged me earlier and called it. You did call it, Ash. You said that it will be, you called it earlier and said it will be Sarr, Paulinho and Bergvall. You did call it and you said Simmons off the left. You did call it. So some people won't be surprised. Big up to Singularity, saying strange lineup, not confident. Well, look, proof of the pudding is in the eating, right? We might win. I've gone for 4-1. On my Spurs 5 score prediction this week in the league table, I've gone for 4-1. Hey, and again, look, as Blakey says, at half-time, bring off a midfielder, prop Bergvall and put Muani up top. Listen, there's options, right? That's the one thing you would say. By the way, there's been no goals in the Premier League since that Matoma goal, 20 minutes ago. There's been no goals in the Premier League for 20 minutes. None at all. Rangers are still losing. Hang on. Oh, let me send it to, here we go. Spurs debut for Xavi. Hang on. I'm just going to send this link to Danny, by the way. Let me get my man Dan on. Maybe he might look awake today. Where is it? Tottenham Watchalong. Here you go. That's the one. Invite guests. Copy. Dan, I've sent you the link. If you're watching, bro, whenever you're ready, mate, just jump on. Perchy, if you're watching, feel free to jump on as well. I know what Perchy's like, though. He loves watching a game or two on dodgy streams across a Saturday, does our Perchy. But big up to each and every one of you. Let's smash that like button. It's a different team. What it is quite quick. There's a lot of pace in there. With Kudus, with Tell. Simmons isn't the slowest either. So Spence and Porro down the wings from fullback. So we'll see. Canva has said, I understand the lineup. Richardson played for Brazil in the international break. Also Bentancur, Johnson as well. So we need fresh legs. Look, the manager is going to be the one that sees, are the players ready? Are the players ready? Have they come back in good condition from international duty? Did the flight affect them? We've also got Champions League Tuesday night. I did ask the question earlier, is that going to affect the lineup? I don't know. Has he got one eye on that game? And this is the problem. When you're in the Champions League, when you're in Europe, you have to start thinking about these things. So it is what it is. Tell scored a brace for France, so maybe Frank is giving it Well, look, do you know what I want to see? I know I've always said I don't rate Tell. I want to see him do something. I know everyone, I know in the world of YouTube, if you say you don't rate a player, everyone, gutted, he did what. I want to see Matisse Tell do something. God, it is chucking down, by the way. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see that? You see that rain? By the way, postbox over there. That postbox, good postbox, that. There's a story behind it. I'm going to tell you all a bit later. I'm just going to leave you in a bit of suspense. There's a story behind the postbox on my road. Hey? That's a quick team, says Lee. Yes, it is. It is quick. So we'll see. By the way, Wrexham have just pulled one back against QPR. Wrexham 1, QPR 2. Of course, Queen Ellie, her husband, is a QPR fan. So they were 2-1 up. Richard Kone, great signing for QPR, by the way. I'm getting loads of messages come in. Bournemouth. Oh, sorry, Bournemouth scored. Yeah, Bournemouth scored. Sorry, I'm being... Perchy tells me off. He texts me. You got it wrong. You got something wrong. Bournemouth, Semenyo. Doing well, Bournemouth, aren't they? Doing really well. Let's have a look what that's done for the Premier League table. Bournemouth are currently on 9 points as it stands. 5 goals for. 6 goals for, 5 against. Goal difference of 1. But at the moment, they're sitting on 9 points with Liverpool and Arsenal. Oh, it's all happening, isn't it? It's all happening, people. It's all happening. Jordan has said, I'm quite happy with that lineup. It throws a spanner in the works and Moyes may not have prepared. Listen, if Spurs go and win, hang on, who scored? Rangers have equalised. Rangers have equalised. I'll let you know who scored. Was it our boy Mikey? It's not showing me yet, but Rangers have equalised on the Acca Watch. I've got Palace to beat Sunderland. 0-0. I've got Newcastle to beat Wolves. They're winning. Coventry to beat Norwich. They're losing. West Brom to beat Derby. 0-0. Luton 2-2. Oh, and the Rangers goal's been disallowed. Luton Plymouth is 2-2 and Rangers are losing. So of my 6 games, 1 of them is winning. What a crap bet that is. Oh, so the Rangers goal, whoever scored it, has been disallowed. The Rangers goal has been disallowed. It's all happening, isn't it? It's all happening. Let's get on this guy. Oh, Dan.
You all right? How you doing?
Thunder. As I got you in, just thunder.
It is proper pissing down around here as well.
My puppy is sitting below me, trembling because of the thunder. What a wimp. Dan, how are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, all good, mate. Strange formation, stranger team now. But yeah, I think he's gone with the formation that I said yesterday, playing with the DM role instead of the number 10 role.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this yesterday morning, Dan, didn't we? We talked about Ash, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. I know bull. Oh, God, I hate people that say that. I know you're winding me up, but I know bull. We talked about yesterday, Dan. Said, look, if Siemens does go to the left, we said, has Bergvall got that creativity? We're going to get our answer today, Dan, aren't we? We're going to get the answer if he plays in that 10 role, assuming that he is further forward than Sarr, assuming.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no problem with that formation. I mean, because playing with that role, it can give us 3 at the back when the other 2 push forward, and that they can obviously rotate the formation such as the game goes on. It just looks like a bit of a strange formation. I'm not surprised Savvy's being played on the left. I mean, spoke about that yesterday as well. When I mean, I thought he'd get played as a 10, but I'm not surprised he's getting played on the left either, because he played there just as many games last season as he did number 10 position, and his GA was basically the same, give or take a goal. I suppose Tell up front is a bit of a weird one, but then Solanke's injured, and Richarlison, you said, only just came back from Brazil.
Yeah. Now, I don't know that's the reason, but it could be, right? Him and Bentancur both not playing, and they've both come back from South America, right? It would make sense, and I think he's also possibly, well, he's got to look ahead for the Villarreal game on Tuesday as well, isn't he? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, listen, Just quickly, by the way, where is Gray? By the way, no Gray. I'm just trying to see who else is not there. So you've got on the bench, you've got Kinski, Danso, Richarlison, Adogi, Johnson, Odeber, Benson, Core, Davis, Kolo, Mwani. So no Archie Gray. I think we're going to see that quite a lot, Dan.
Mm. Well, he's definitely not a first team player, and people know my opinion on him. I don't even think he's capable of the Premier League yet, but he's not in there because there's better options, basically, in that aspect. Mwani, I think it's right what I think Ben said to me, and also Mia, that where he hasn't played so much football just lately, he's probably not starting, whereas Sims has played a few games already. Not for us, but he's played a few games this season already, and also played international. Yeah, I think Mwani, you'll see him come on at some stage during the game, unless Tell gets a hat trick, which I very much doubt he will.
Well, look, Dan, let's be fair, right? As much as I think I can speak for you as well when I say we don't rate him, right? So far, what we've seen, we've not rated him. That doesn't mean I don't want him to do well. That doesn't mean I don't want him to rock up today and get a hat trick. But he's got to take these chances, right? You get the feeling that this is really very much this is an audition for him. You know, you got Richarlison, let's say jet lagged. Mwani's not fully fit, hasn't played football. Solanke's out injured. This is his audition, isn't it, to show us what he can do?
Well, it's definitely that sort of game because it's an important game, same as any game is, but it's an important game. It's a London derby as well. It's going to be a very physical game, in my opinion. I mean, with West Ham, it usually does, because it's never a clean game as such. It's usually dirty one way or another. I think they're definitely going to go for the more physical side of it. And, well, it's like Eminem said, isn't it? You might only get that chance once. You got to take it, basically. And
Danny,
he's got to take that chance.
Great Marshall Mathers on Football Matters. Love it. Love it.
I mean, when it comes to that music, he's the only one that I listen to with that sort of thing. I do like some of Eminem stuff, but it is something that he said. You might only get that chance once, and he's got a perfect chance there to try and do something with an important game, a game that will get noticed. It's not as though we're playing Burnley or something like that. We're playing West Ham at the end of the day. We haven't won there for 6 years, and he's got a chance there. I mean, I think we're definitely going to have to watch our Porro again, because after what happened to us in the last game, anyone's going to be looking at that, same as they look at last season, and see that he's not a good defender and that he's one to focus on as such. I think Spence can deal with Bowen. I mean, who's it that's going to be on the left-hand side, or our right-hand side? Somerville, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think you'd probably have Bowen on the right and Somerville on the left from looking at that lineup. I don't know for sure, but I think both of those can play on either wing, though, can't they? So they might swap.
Well, on West Ham's team, it says they're saying Bowen up front, basically, with Somerville on the left and Fernandez on the right. Yeah.
Listen, whatever it is, I think they've got some. We talked about this yesterday. West Ham aren't playing well. I know they won last time out. They aren't playing well, but they've got some threat. When you look at Somerville, I think Somerville's a good player that's waiting to explode. Bowen, we know what he's all about. Paqueta, we know what he's about. We've got to have our wits about us. But for me, I think they're quite weak at the back. And this is where I need to see Kudus, Simmons, and Tell. This is where we need to see that front three do something today. And yes, it's Simmons' first game, but we're going to be looking to him. And we are now strong. At least the two wingers are now strong. Dan, is the positive for me from that lineup. Yeah,
this is why I've been saying I wouldn't be surprised with Simmons starting on the left, and the sort of formation he's gone for. It looks like he's definitely gone for an out-and-out DM there, basically, with Paulinho. So obviously you make yourself stronger on the wings end, don't you? And we've got two players there who can blatantly cross that ball in there.
Yeah, by the way, for anyone, I've just double-checked Stoke, who are winning 1-0. By the way, Stoke doing bloody well under Mark Robbins, on course for their fourth win in 5. Donnelly and Phillips not on. Have not come on, and we're in the 75th minute. So not looking like a great day for the two lads on loan. This is why, whenever I debate with with Lubo, Dan, about Donnelly should have been in our squad. Like, first and foremost, he needs to be able to get into the bloody Stoke team. Do you know what I mean? But
if he can't get in there, then how the hell can you sit there saying that he should be at Spurs?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Big up my man Ash. He said we can't moan about being shit versus Bournemouth and then moan when we play one DM. It was obvious what he'd do for me. We have ball progressors in midfield. Well, look, Ash, I agree with most things you say. I agree with this one. I don't know if it was Dan yesterday. It might have been. He'll tell me. He's here with me. It might have been Lubo. Someone was saying that we don't need necessarily to play the two DMs if you're going to call Bentancur a kind of deep lying playmaker, a deep lying DM. You don't need to. And what he's got with Sarr and Bergvall, he's certainly got energy in and alongside Paulinho, right? So that could work in essence, Dan, couldn't it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it was Lubo that said that to you yesterday, because I said I'd be starting with Bentancur, or again, me start with 3 at the back sort of thing. But I can totally understand why we've gone for this way to attack as such. But we've definitely gone for the DM, and we know he slips back to 3 to make it 3 at the back, depending what's going on in the game and everything. When the pressure's on us, or even when we press forward, should I say, he's going to be going to basically help the back 3, while the 2 wing backs can both go forward. Basically, that's how I see that one anyway.
I agree.
It makes sense. It makes sense. And then with what you said there, and Lubo said it yesterday, with Sarr having the engine, and I think the only one I'm really sceptical of in that aspect is Bergvall, really. Because, again, for me, I think he's done well, but I think there's a hell of a lot of improvement he needs to make on his final third. His last pass, his last shot, whatever. We just don't usually even seem to get to that point. He doesn't really seem to pull that bit off too well.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this is, obviously I had a big debate yesterday with Luba about the left-sided, not buying that. And obviously you said, well, if you're not going to buy the left-sided, you need to buy a 10 and play Simmons out there. What it does show, though, Dan, is if Simmons isn't going to play in the 10, there are no options to go there, are there? Bergvall and Sarr are the kind of false 10s that will have to push. And they're not playmaker 10s, are they? They're ball-carrying midfielders. They're driving with the ball midfielders, not... I don't expect either of those two to get the game, dictate, do you know what I mean? Put their foot on it and control. So it's going to be interesting.
The closest 2 we've got for a 10 really is Kudus and Kulusevski, really, where you can stick them in the middle and play them as more attacking midfield central sort of thing. I suppose you could use Kudus a bit better as a playmaker than Kulusevski, but that's obviously not what he's there for.
Yeah.
And that's the closest we've actually got in a 10 role, really. So if he decides not to necessarily play it as a playmaker there, you can use Simmons out on the left as a bit of a playmaker and have him drift. It all depends on what he actually intends and wants to do with it, basically, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see it.
Well, what I would say is this. First of all, what I would say is the likes are absolutely atrocious, people. This is becoming a bit of a theme. 121 likes, and there's 475 of you in here. Can we please smash that like button? Like right now, let's get that to 250, please. Also, subscribe to the Hotspur Hood. If one of my mods would be so kind to put Dan's channel into the chat, please. That would be absolutely brilliant. Hang on, there's been a goal somewhere. Oh, my Aka today, right? 1 winning, 5 losing. You can't just West Brom are losing at home to Derby. Ryan Mason's West Brom are losing at home to Derby. They've had 65% of the game, 16 shots, and they're now 1-0 down at home to Derby. What I will say is I'll do some super chats and then I'll say something. Big up to Queen Ellie, paying me 99p. She just paying me for the tan. Thanks, Ellie. Love you. Thank you very much. Hope you're well, and hope your husband's team can hang on to their 2-1 scoreline at the moment. Big up to Char Char Binksy, who's just said, come on, you Spurs. Absolutely. I'm sticking with my 4-1. I'm going to go with a Tell brace, and I'm sticking with my 4-1. Go on, Matisse Tell. Big up to you, Cha-Cha. And Kate Miller. I don't believe that this account is anybody called Kate Miller in any way, shape, or form. But Kate Miller has said, hi, Saba. I'm the new communications officer at Spurs. Hi, Kate. Are you doing that job remote from, what is that? Is that India? Is that, where's that currency from? Because that's definitely not someone who's working at Tottenham Hotspur. I can tell you that. Big up to you, Kate. Much appreciated. Really appreciate that. What I will say is this. The 4, if we take out Tell and Paulinho, the other 4, there's a lot of energy in there. Kudus, Simmons, Bergvall, Sarr. There's a lot in there. There's a lot of good legs. So hopefully there's enough in there going forward. The question I'm going to have is this. If Matisse Tell doesn't score, who's going to score our goals? Because Bergvall doesn't score goals. Sarr hardly scores. Paulinho's not a goal scorer. Kudus hasn't scored a goal for us yet. Where are the goals coming from, Dan? Here's my question. Where are the goals coming from?
That one for me is down to the manager in the aspect of, obviously it's down to Tell to do his job, but he needs to be able to predict early enough in the game of whether he thinks Tell has got a chance of scoring or not, whether he's doing the job properly. Obviously, you can't predict whether a player will score or not, because a player, a number 10 or number 9, whatever you want to call him, number 9, he can be irrelevant the whole game, but as long as he turns up at that moment to put it in the back of the net, that's what he's there to do, basically. He's one of 2 players on the pitch, as far as I'm concerned, can basically evaporate for the game, like a goalkeeper. He can do nothing the whole game, but as long as he's there to save that shot when it matters, that's what matters.
Yeah.
And I think he's got to be able to judge by half-time whether Tell has actually got the capability of doing it as such. If he hasn't had no chances, then he'll have to do something to try and get the others to create chances as such or whatever. But we've still obviously got the option of Moane there. Or even Richarlison.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
Richarlison, but
you got 2 strikers on the bench. And somebody said here, I've got a couple of comments I want to read out. They're quite funny. So the first person, but by the way, there's been a change to the West Ham squad. By the way, Wan-Bissaka has dropped out of the squad. And isn't he 40 now? Fabianski. They just re-signed him, didn't they? Fabianski is in. So they've got 2 keepers on the bench. By the way, Glasgow Rangers 0, Hearts 2. I've got a feeling you're going to see the first sacking tonight. I've got a feeling, what's his name? Russell Martin. I think he's going to get sacked today from Rangers. For Rangers, I know it's not Spurs, but for Rangers to not win any of their first 5 league games, Dan, is unheard of. This is Rangers. This is Glasgow Rangers. He's getting the sack, isn't he, tonight?
Well, you'd think so, basically, because usually when it comes to the Scottish League, it's all about one team, basically, these days, and that is Celtic. But the only other ones that usually give it a fight is Rangers, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, before they had that breakdown, basically, when they had to rebuild the club and everything, they were the main club for, easily 10 years or whatever. And it had just started to go a bit soft, and then Celtic basically took it over. That's why the Scottish League is what it is, basically. But they at least expect Rangers to be in there having a fight, don't they? And that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. And
can't say I really pay much attention to it, if I'm going to be totally honest.
No, completely agree. Beth is your better half, and she has done you a solid favor and put your link into the chat. Please, if you haven't subscribed to Dan, look, there's 500 exactly. There's 501 of you, 506 of you right now in here. If 100 of you haven't subscribed to Dan, or 500 of you, if you haven't, I'm sure some of you have, please smash that link and get him some subscribers. Fantastic creator. Good guy as well, by all accounts. I've still got one of his towels at my house. That's not as an exciting as a story as anyone might think it is. Somebody has said here, why we're not signing a striker. Yeah. Why bring a creator and then not use a striker? Well, I think what you'll find is Colin Moane hasn't played for a long time. Colin Moane's not played football, so I'm guessing he's not ready. And
match fit. And
Richarlison has just come back from Brazil. We don't know what condition he's in. We don't know if his head's right. etc. So, we're hearing he's not a winger. We're hearing he's a striker. Show us. Big up to my mate Kate, who says, Savvy, you're so gorgeous. And you can see I'm much younger and more beautiful than Donna Cullen. Then you go a bit creepy with it. Will you go on a date with me? It's all a bit creepy. No, yeah. I'm going to politely
not tonight.
I'm going to politely decline. I've promised the wife a takeaway tonight, so no, I'm not going to do that. I'm afraid. Where are we going? Well, Reese, the thing when you're saying starting someone in the wrong position, lots of people say, Dan, that Tell is a striker. Like I keep being told, oh, he's not a left winger, he's a striker. Well, there you go. He's a striker. So, hey, it is what it is. Look, what I will say is it does make our bench look a little bit better than it's been for a long time. When you look at that, you look at the likes of Mawani, you look at Richarlison as Brazil's number 9, you look at Danso for the centre half depth, Bentancur. There's some talent on that bench, right? We've got for the first time in a long time, Dan. We've got some depth, right?
Well, we've also actually got players on the bench where we could totally change the style of play, basically. If we actually want, because one of the problems we have had with the players we've got on the sub side and everything else is it's basically been a player for a player, the same sort of player for the same sort of player. And how does that make you change your style of play if you want to go more attacking or more defensive when you're basically swapping a player for a player? We've actually got players on there that play in the same position but a slightly different way with a couple of them at least. And we don't usually have that.
No, absolutely.
So we've got options and that makes a change because for a little while we've hardly even had options, have we really?
No, absolutely. Just quickly, Carlos, this is for your 5-year-old daughter who wanted to see little Stanley. Here he is. Look, there he is. He's a bit scared at the moment because of all the thunder, aren't you, mate? A bit scared. There you go. There's Stanley for you in his all black kit. Yeah, listen, it's good. And then when you think that you've got to add, there's been a goal in the 94th minute. Fulham 1, Leeds 0 in the 94th minute at Craven Cottage. So 94 minutes, Leeds looking like they were going to get a hard-earned point. Doesn't look like they're going to. Newcastle still 1-0 up, by the way, against Wolves. Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Sounds like that's been breathtaking. And Villa away at Everton. Everton 0, Villa 0 at the moment. And Aston Villa have not scored a goal in 4 games. But, hey, it is what it is. Dan, what I would say today is, if I look at the Premier League table, as it stands right now, this is a real good opportunity. This is a real good opportunity for Spurs to really consolidate themselves in that top half. Now, I know that sounds mad because we're 4 games after today, it'll be 4 games, but you can start getting yourself in that little bunch that are moving away, right? So that for me makes this really important. I'm not saying it's the end of the world if we lose, but that for me makes it important. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And with that, that's one thing we're not very good at. And that's taking our opportunities when they come as such. That's one thing we're usually one of the worst things at. Many a times we've had opportunities for whatever situation and screwed it up. But like we did in the last game, basically. But this is games where we should be going there for the win, where to keep us in that top row as such. So that we're there. I mean, if Villa lose today, they're already, obviously the league's still got another 34 games to it, but they're already in catch-up mode then, isn't they? If we win this one, we're up there with it as such. So it's definitely the opportunity to keep up with them.
Yeah.
We go and lose this game, then that puts us more in the middle, and then we're in a bit more of a catch-up. But it is only the 4th game of the season. But can also make a very big difference as well by the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. It feels like a really strange start to the season for me. Not just from Spurs. I think a lot of teams, other than Arsenal and Liverpool, you would say, there isn't really any patterns from any team. Everyone seems to be beating everybody. And Bournemouth, sorry, I must add Bournemouth in there, guys. This will be, if they get the win today, I I'm not sure if their game's finished yet, but if they get the win today, Bournemouth up there on 9 points. But hey, it's all very, very interesting. Dan, I'm going to ask you about the back four. You touched upon this just now in terms of Pedro Porro. Do you believe that clubs are targeting him? Because we've talked about Pedro Porro for the last couple of years and teams looking at Spurs and going, right, where are we vulnerable at the back? He is the weak link from a defensive standpoint. I don't think that's harsh of me to say that. Do you think teams target him?
I mean, I'll even take it to another level. Playing him as a fullback, I think he's a liability.
Okay.
I think he is that much of a poor defender. People say, yeah, but he's got better. Okay, so from being totally crap, he's got to being poor. I really do not think he is a good defender in any means or manner. Obviously, he has a moment where he gets in front of it or manages to knock his man off the ball or even get a tackle in once in a while. But even a striker could do that. He is a liability to play him as a fullback or playing him there without someone to at least help cover him, basically. And they did it last season, focused for him because he was inverted and plus he was also the weaker defender. I mean, out of the three we've got, Spence is definitely the best defender out of Spence, Udogie and Porro. But I think Udogie is also better defensively. I'm not saying he's good, but better defensively than Porro. I do not rate, but he's not a fullback. He's a wing back, and that is two different jobs. Now, all right, a wing back has to be able to come back and cover. But when you're playing a wing back properly and going forward and that's when you usually have three at the back. So when he comes back, you've also got the right-hand side defender to help back him up as well. I mean, how many out-and-out wing backs do you know that have actually been solidly good defenders at the same time? And this is where I think a few people mix up the difference between a fullback and a wing back. When it comes to it, on the defensive side of it, I do think he's a liability. He's an easy target because he's not a defensive-minded player. It shows time and time again. And that's not disrespecting him as a player. It's just not his way of play. It's like what I say with Basuma. 80% of his mistakes made last season were all in defensive situations. He's not a defensive type of player. And every time we did play him out of a defensive type of player, or I say every time, about 6 or 7 times, like in the European games as well, he looked like a significantly better player. Why? Because he has not got a defensive mentality. And I don't think Porro has either. And he's just one of them ones that no matter how much you try and train him up, he might get a little bit better, but he's just not a defensive-minded player. He wants to get that ball and go forward and cross it in.
No, so I completely agree with you.
On the other team, I'd focus on him straight away, see what happened in the last game, see what's happened in many other games last season. Whether we're playing a different style or not, it's still going to be him open on his own as a fullback, basically, or even pressing forward. But this is why I think he's gone for the idea of what I said yesterday of playing the defensive midfielder instead of the attacking midfielder. And so that when either of them two press forwards, Paulinho can drop into the middle of Van der Ven and Romero, giving us 3 at the back, which can also give Porro that bit of extra depth as well when it's coming at him, basically, on a counter-attack or whatever. So I do think that is definitely why he's going to use Paulinho as a DM role, basically, so we can have it 3 at the back when needed.
Yeah.
But Porro, again, I'll say it again, when it comes to being a fullback, he's a liability because he is not a fullback.
No, listen, I completely agree with you. And it looks like he's going to be up against Somerville unless Bowen goes out there. Again, wingers that are quick and tricky tend to have quite a good game against Porro. So let's watch that one. Again, hopefully we're proved wrong, Dan. Hopefully Porro has a great game and we proved wrong. But that's definitely what I'd be doing if I was Potter. By the way, Bournemouth has just finished. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1. Bournemouth have won 3 in a row. Everyone said that they've had their team ripped apart in the summer. They're going to fall off. At the moment, 9 points from 12. Brilliant against us last week. Apparently, they played well again here today. Good manager, Iriola. I think it's a matter of time before Iriola gets a move to a bigger club. By the way, Palace 0, Sunderland 0 is a full-time result. Sunderland will definitely take that. A point away from home for Sunderland. They'll take that. And Aston Villa away at Everton. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. Newcastle is still going. Fulham have beaten Leeds 1-0. Newcastle is still going. And it was the new boy, Voldemar, who got the goal. So Newcastle 1-0. And at the moment, what that means for the table as it stands is Arsenal top, Liverpool second, Bournemouth a third, Chelsea fourth, Everton a fifth, Sunderland sixth, Spurs are in seventh. We're in seventh, but we can go. Depending on goal. If we win today, we will definitely go into second. If we win today, we will go into second. If we win big, I'm talking about by 4 goals, we will go top. So just letting you all know how the state of play is. Yeah, listen, it's going to be interesting. Udogie, is he going to get himself back in this team? I know it's a squad game and he'll probably get rotated, but Spence is in good form. Porro seems to never be dropped. Is he going to get himself back in this team at any point, Dan?
I don't see any reason why, unless we start Spence on the right-hand side. Basically, because I think Spence, if you're going to put Porro and Udogie and Spence together, I think Spence is the better overall player. He's definitely the better defender out of the two of them. Maybe not so good at getting forward as either of them, but he's also got the capability to do it. So we all know coming down to a player, especially when you're playing as a wing back, or, well, if he's full back, whatever you want to call him, I'd say with everything you can add up with a player, he is the better overall player out of all 3 of them. You can get the most out of him as such. You can get the defence because he is good defence, but he's also good enough on going forward. Whereas the other 2 for me are more just purely going forward, where Udogie can defend a little bit better than Porro, basically. So unless there's going to be games where we move Spence over to the right-hand side to maybe give Porro some breathing space, or if he's having a bit of a nightmare like in the last game, I don't really see where Udogie gets in there just yet. Or unless we want to play a game with 3 at the back and use the wing backs as total attacking wing backs, basically, then I think Udogie and Porro would be the better option if you're going to use them purely for attacking. Because that's where you'll get the best out of both of them too. But I think...
Do you want to answer this question from Phil? Phil said to you, Dan, when you say they're not good defenders, does that mean they can't improve defensively at all?
I didn't say that. I said that earlier. He might improve, but he'll never be good. I mean, he's improved as a defender. He's improved from bloody crap to poor. Well done. He's not a defensive-minded player.
Yeah.
It's with certain players, you can always make players better in positions, I think, yeah. But when it comes down to it, I think when it comes to football with a majority of people, players, they've got their mentality on the style of football that they're best at as such. Some will always have, even if you try and teach them to be a defender, they will always have that attacking thing going through their head, basically. Whereas others will always be a lot more defensive minded. Others will be a lot more creative. Others will be... There's always a natural part to a player as well. And if a player has not got a defensive mentality as such, you can hammer it into him as much as you want and he might get better, but he's not going to be as good as that one who's got a defensive mentality, if you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah. No,
I
get it.
I just don't think he's got the defensive mind in any means or manner, which I'm not saying that makes him a bad player. He's like I said, he's a wing back for going forward. So yeah, maybe you can teach him to be a bit better, but you'll never get a good fullback out of him. Never in a million years, not in my opinion, because he's not being a player.
I'm going to disagree with Phil. I disagree with most things Phil says. I think the thing is, it's okay seeing good performances every now and then from players. Of course, we've all seen bad players that we don't rate have good games. That's football, right? That's the way it is. But can you make someone defensively minded who's not been brought up that way? I don't know. At the age of 25, 26, does that happen? Isn't that something that you more drill into them when they're younger? I don't know. Listen, Porro has great games at fullback. There's no denying that. But for me, if I'm a winger, I want to play against Porro. If I'm a winger, I want to play against him. But that doesn't mean I think he's going to have bad games all the time. But he is definitely someone that's better that way than he is going that way, right? And that's just the way 100%. It is. That's just the way it is.
Again, you can teach him as much as you want, but he's just not a defensive-minded player. Simple as that. So for me, he's not a fullback in any means or manner. You might see him I mean, look, if we was to go through last season, I mean, probably not the best season to look at it, but to count out the games where he had an actual solid game as a fullback, where he had to defend a lot more than he did attack, I think we'd be lucky if counted them on one hand, basically.
Oh, Dan,
and that's
you
purely
because he's 1 second.
Yeah,
just 1 second.
That's fine. And that's purely because he's just not a defensive-minded player, and it shows. When you need someone to be an out-and-out fullback and everything's coming at them, you need them to also have that defensive capability, that defensive mentality. And Porro is a wing-back. That's what he played out in Portugal. That's where he's played everything else he's done. He has always been that overlapping wing-back. I mean, me personally, I feel you'd get better out of Porro as a right winger, a right midfielder, or even an attacking right winger than you will do as a fullback. Why? Because it involves a lot more attacking than it does defensive. He is an attacking-minded player. You'll get more chance out of him on a right wing or right at the top as a right winger to cross it in than you will as a fullback, because he just is not defensive.
I listen. I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. Big up to Ellie. Said I think Spence going forward is just as good going. I think Spence going forward is just as good going forward, but perhaps Porro is a better player to link up with, whereas Spence has Brennan Johnson. There's a lot to be said for that, Ellie. I agree with you. Partnerships around the pitch are so important. If you look at the days of the Poch team that was really good for Spurs, partnerships that were built. You know, the partnership between Son and Danny Rose. You know, the partnership on the right-hand side with Walker and Ali or Ericsson, whichever one floated out there at the time. Partnership in the centre mid. These partnerships are so important. And this is why, Ellie, I know people get bored of me saying it, but this is why I said we definitely need a top left winger. Because otherwise, we're going to have this conversation every week about Spurs, Dan. Every week. Depending on who goes through the middle and on the left, we're going to have this conversation. And that's because we didn't buy an out-and-out first-team left winger. And if you did buy an out-and-out first-team left winger, this wouldn't be a conversation. So, for example, if we had signed, let's just use, he scored today, Matoma. If Matoma was at Tottenham right now, Dan, every game when I say to you, who's starting on our left wing, your answer is never going to be anything other than Matoma, is it? Like, it's going to be Matoma's our left winger.
Well, even if we'd have gone and got ourselves a number 10, you can quite easily stick Savvy out on the left and use it as that. We still had an option of, like we were saying yesterday and like today, it turns out he has played him on the left, of where we weren't exactly sure what did we actually buy him for? Did we actually buy him for the 10, or did we actually buy him for the inverted left wing role? And that's going to show over due games to come. Or we're going to use him for the best of both worlds, which I think we're definitely going to do. Because at the moment, we basically have to, because we don't have no other option for a 10. Or was Frank's intention the whole time to not necessarily use him as a 10, but to use him as the inverted forward sort of thing? Time will tell with that one. And we still had an option there. Right, we can't get that left winger we want. Right, can we get a number 10 there? And then you can play Savvy out on the left consistently, and you're not playing him out of position because he actually played there more than he did as a number 10 last season, and his GA was basically the same, give or take one goal. And we still had that option of going for either player. We could have gone and got a left winger now, or we could have gone and got a number 10 now, and that team would have been pretty much stable, the first 11 anyway.
Yeah. Listen,
Savvy, he's just one of the ones where you're lucky enough where I think he's actually just as good on both sides.
Yeah, look, absolutely. Listen, when I say about a deep squad and people go, no, we only need one or two more in. The reason why I always want a deep squad is I want options, Dan. I'm an options guy. But what I will say, bringing it back to this team today, we can all moan about, what's he done? But isn't this the exact thing that we wanted from a manager, to try different things? Didn't we want a manager that was going to mix it up? Didn't we want a manager that it wasn't just going to be the same formation, the same 11 every week? Now we've got that. We have to let him do that, right? And I'm not saying he's going to get it right every game, but we have to. That's what we bought in. We bought in a coach. We bought in somebody who's flexible with his tactics. We can't really complain when we see that at first, can we? He's got to find these things out for himself.
Yeah, well, I said for a long time, you said it, others on this, Del said it, Brian, pretty much a lot of people said it, that we need a manager with adaptability. We need a manager that can read the next game. And that is what Frank is basically there for, and that is how he uses it. It's just in the last game, for me, he got completely outmanaged in every which way and left it too late to make a decision. He should have done that at half time because it was not going in our favour at any means or manner. But again,
and he's acknowledged that though, Dan, hasn't he? He said,
Yeah.
I got it wrong. He said,
Yeah.
I got it wrong.
So we see how he goes with it with this one. Like in the last one, he should have made that change in the first half. By the time the second half, basically, he should have already made it because he weren't going our way. But again, we can only judge by what games we see. With this one, we'll see how it's working and we'll see if he has to change it or whatever. We've been saying we want a manager that can adapt game by game, because for me, you have to adapt every game, not necessarily change your formation or even change your main style of play. But if their strongest player is on their left-hand side, their left winger coming at you, that is where you adapt your game and do exactly what Bournemouth did to us and double up on Kudus. That's just common sense, if you ask me. But maybe other managers just see that different. If their main threat is that one there, take him out of the game. And that's what they did. They took Kudus out and then they focused on Porro and totally destroyed us with it. Yeah. That is what I call adapting to a game.
No, completely agree. Yeah, he got it wrong. He said that. By the way, anyone who's watching Sky Sports, could someone let me know, did Frank was just interviewed. Obviously, I'm live, so I haven't got the sound on. Was he asked about the team? Like, was he asked about Richarlison, Bentancur? Can anyone give us any insight as to, did he say anything groundbreaking, anything controversial? But hey, they're just focusing at the moment on Xavi Simons on the screen, just showing him creating. So this is going to be very interesting. Well, look, we know. Well, we know the answer to this, don't we? Madueke is superior as a footballer to Brennan Johnson. He might not have as many goals, but as a footballer, I thought Madueke today, by the way, was superb. I thought he destroyed Nottingham Forest, the fullbacks. He absolutely destroyed them. Thomas Frank said, make sure you tune into Sava, like and subscribe. I'm sure he did. I'm sure Thomas Frank did say that. I've got a very good relationship with Thomas Frank. Kudus. Let's talk about Kudus. Just quickly before we do, big up to whole Spurs. So what's the team, guys? The team is Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, and Spence. He's gone with Sarr and what we think will be Sarr and Paulinho. Then Kudus, Bergval, and Simmons with Matisse Tell up top. But listen, this is his audition. Good luck to him. Grab a couple of goals, shut people like me up. There you go. Grab a couple of goals, shut people like me up. Big up to you, whole Spurs. And also Tony Rodriguez said, I'm not liking Frank right now. Bullshit 11. Tony, let's be brutally honest. Other than Tell, were you expecting anything different? Other than Tell, the only player that's not playing that would have played would be either Richarlison or Johnson. I can't be that annoyed at him because I don't want to watch Richarlison or Johnson, Dan. So, I mean, it's like, I can't really be too annoyed. Do you know what I mean?
I think with Kudus, I don't think he's a player we're going to see many goals out of, personally. For me, I don't think he's an out-and-out goal scorer. I think if we get double figures out of him this year, I think he's had a very good season. I just don't think he's that sort of goal-scoring inside forward as such. He's more of a creator. He's more of one who will create the moment and maybe take the chance when he's got it as such. But he's also one that can cause enough trouble on the pitch that the others have to focus on him. And if it ends up that they've got two players focusing on him, but we've also got ourselves covered elsewhere with other options, like Xavi on the left at the moment, they're going to have to be very careful with who they focus on then. Because now we've got a winger either side that is a problem.
Right.
Xavi is a problem. Kudus is a problem. They can't go and stick two men on both of them at the same time because then they just leave themselves wide open down the middle. So then they're going to have to work out what one's more the problem or whether they've got enough stamina in them, basically, to every time he gets the ball, right, 2 or 3 on him, every time he gets the ball, 2 or 3 on him, but then also be able to get the others back to cover the middle as well. So it's a lot more work for them to do because it's two different sides they've got to cover. Whereas in the last game, who really cared less that Johnson was out on the left? He was like, yeah, he's irrelevant, basically. Don't worry about him. Just watch it if he gets in the box, basically. Apart from that, he's a terrible player. So they just focused on the problem, and that was Kudus. Whereas now we got a problem on both sides at the moment.
Agreed. And Ali Gold has just made a good point. He's just tweeted out and said that, this is a formation that the creativity comes from the wings, right? And the thinking behind this is you get your creativity from Kudus and Simons, who both can cut in as well as going on the outside. And then what you do is you have the 2 8s. You don't have a 10 in this formation. You have the 2 8s that will break the lines, right? Bergvall and Saar. So I'm interested to see it. It could work. And it's good to know that we can play like that. It's good to know that we can play with a 6 and then 2 8s. It's good to know we can play with 2 and then a number 10. So I'm not going to complain about it. Unless we get absolutely tonked, then we'll absolutely complain about it. But for people asking, yes, Kolo Muani is on the bench. I don't believe he's played since the World Club Cup, which was a fair few months ago now, right? The World Club Cup. So that's probably why he is not in the team today. And I'm sure we will see something about him. Someone said Carlos saying Lancashire is better than Tell. Destiny, my man, Destiny 5. How you doing, bro? I said, in Frank, I trust. Me too. Me too. I trust in Frank. Big up to you. Scott has been a member for 11 months. He's nearly at his 1 year anniversary. Big up to you, Scott. Really appreciate all your support, my man. Really, really do. Yeah, but I mean, listen, when I talk about Kudus, for me, I agree with you. I don't think he's ever going to be a 15, 16 goal a season winger.
No.
But what he will do is he'll create. And what he will do is he'll carry the ball. What he will do is take the pressure off the team. What he will do is work hard. What he will do is, you know what I mean? So he's got a lot of other aspects to his game. However, be lovely, wouldn't it, against his old club for him to grab his first goal in a Spurs shirt today?
I think it's going to be interesting to see, but I think today is one where you can definitely see what sort of mentality he's got. Because he's going to get a lot of stick there. He's going to get a lot of stick at West Ham for obvious reasons. I mean, some are even saying that like he's stitched them up, basically. He's done them over. What do you want to call him? A Judas or whatever. So he's going to get a lot of flank there. He's going to get a lot of crap. So how's he going to deal with that when that comes at him as such? Because I don't think he's had to deal with that sort of situation before. So it's going to be interesting how he deals with that. Is that going to hype him up to the point that he gives it that 10% extra? Or is he going to put him off to the point where it takes 10% off him? We don't know what his mentality is like in that sort of situation yet. I think he'd be perfectly fine. I think he's got enough arrogance about him, and I mean that actually in a good way, in a sporting way, that he can quite happily just stick his finger up to them and get on with it and then walk off with a smile. If he scores, I don't think he'll go and rub it in their face, but I think he'll have a cheeky little grin on his face if they're giving him a lot of crap, which I think they will.
Yeah, no. Listen, I don't disagree with anything you said. Carlos saying, is Dan back on our time? Dan is always welcome on the channel. He knows that. He's got the link. He can pop on whenever he wants. 14 minutes, guys, until kickoff. Sky are showing that Bowen is going to play through the middle, but we'll wait and see. Do they put Bowen through the middle? Is Paqueta going to play as a false 9? We will see. Does Somerville go there? We'll see when the game starts. But other than that, I don't think that it is as bad as everyone says. I don't think that. I feel like a lot of people were texting me going, "Oh, what an awful lineup! What a terrible team." I genuinely don't think there is. We haven't bought a left winger, which means that you're going to have to do things like Simmons going out on the left wing at times. We haven't bought our striker. One is injured, one isn't match fit, and the other one's just flown back. I don't think it's as bad. But what sort of a game are you expecting, Dan? London derby. The last time we played West Ham, it was, I don't know if you remember, it was one of the worst games I've ever seen. I think it was 1-1, and it was absolutely dreadful.
Well, we haven't done them there for 6. I don't think he's I don't think we've won there for about 6 years now, have we?
Mm.
And when it comes to West Ham, they always seem to turn it up a gear. They always seem to play us like it's their cup game as such. And I think it's usually quite a dirty, scrappy, physical game as well. But I think we've actually got at least two players on that pitch who can, or maybe even three, that can actually give it a bit of a physical go now. Whereas last season, physicality-wise, what did we have? Maybe Romero, and that's about it. Because you can't say Van der Ven's exactly a physical-minded sort of player, and nor was anyone else on there. And I'm sure anyone's going to be worried with Johnson coming towards you. You're slapping around the face for a wet towel, basically. Where someone like Kudus, someone like Paulinho, they're two definitely more physically mentally minded players, aren't they? With the capability of it. I think it's going to be a very messy game, very gritty, very stuck in. And I think West Ham are going to know that with us, obviously, to focus on the left-hand side, but also make it as physical as they can as well.
Yeah, I think this is the thing for me. I don't really want it to get to the battle stage. I'd like to see, I said this to you yesterday on yesterday's show, I'd like to see us have a game where we control. Now, I don't know if we will. I don't know, again, looking at that midfield, have West Ham got a midfield that can control a game? When you look at Ward-Prowse, Fernandez and Souček, who are going to be the three midfielders in one way or another in their team. Are they players that control a game? I'm not so sure they are. So I'd like to see us get on the ball a bit here, but I've got a feeling we won't. I've got a feeling that we're going to play very much on the transition, Dan. And that's because neither Paulinho, Sarr, or Bergvall are the type of players who put their foot on the ball and dictate a game. Not one of them. You've got Bergvall's the driving with the ball, Sarr's your box-to-box energy, breaking up play, and Paulinho's your number 6. So I've got a feeling we're going to be looking on the transition with Simmons, Tell, and Kudus. I think we're going to be looking to break fast. And what we're going to have to say, I think, is Bergvall and Gray are going to have to bust a gut to get up there with them and get into the box and offer bodies. That's how I see it going. Could be wrong. Could be wrong.
I can easily believe Paulinho basically being an anchor man. And the most he's going to do is, I don't know, the way I'm looking at it is the most he does when the ball's in the side is come up to the halfway line as such. Apart from that, he pretty much sticks at his anchor man role or comes back into a back three. I don't know, if we've got 8 other people up the other end of the pitch and proper weighing into them as such, then okay, press forward that bit more. But I think with Paulinho there, the more and more I look at the formation that we're pretty sure it is, it does make sense for what you can see he wants to do with it, if that is what he wants to do with it, i.e. having Paulinho as the anchor man to also come as the back three. That gives the wing backs the able to go forward when they want to, or the full-backs, whatever way you want to put them. And then it also gives the options of Sarr and Bergvall to get chasing up there when a direct ball comes through, or to back up the wings, basically. So I can understand why he's gone for those players if he's playing the way that I think he's going to play. And I do think it's going to be, it does look like it could be a counter-attack, direct football game sort of thing. Right, we got the ball direct up there onto the wings, get it in the box, basically.
Are you nervous?
Well, I'm watching Spurs play. I'm always nervous. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes you know how a team plays. Like, you know what to expect. So far with Spurs in the Premier League, we've had 3 very different performances. 3 very different tactics, different momentums. Some were brilliant, some were crap. That makes me nervous that I don't quite know what to expect. So I am a tad nervous, but listen, I've said we need to. So I think, West Ham are under pressure. However, if West Ham win today, they go level on points with us. So I think we've got to, for me, we cannot come away with a defeat. I don't want to take a draw, by the way, if you ask me right now, but we cannot come away with a defeat. So what's your score prediction for today, Dan?
With the sort of team West Ham are, I don't want to be going. I'm not going to be satisfied with a draw. I want to win. I want a win with this one because we are better than West Ham. Okay, they're at home. It's a London derby, all that. But like I said, I think it's going to be a dirty game. I think it's going to be quite scrappy and messy and that. But I think we'll pull this one off 2-1.
I've got to say 4-1, and I've got to stick with my my prediction on the Spurs 5.
Well, you've seen a change of formation and everything, basically, and a change of players and that. So surely that might have an effect on your opinion of the out-and-out score.
I'm sticking with it, Dan. Sticking with
Fair
it.
enough.
And I'm going to go for Tell to score. There you go. I'm going to fully go behind Tell until he starts playing crap. I think there's goals in this. I do think there's goals in this. I look at that West Ham back four and I think it looks weak to me. I mean, let's just have a look at this back four again. So West Ham have got, where are we? Here we go. So West Ham's back four, Walker-Peters, Mavropanos, Kilman and Juve. And then Hermanson in goal. I mean, really, we should be winning this game. No, it doesn't. I truly believe we can get at them. And that will make it even more embarrassing if we don't manage to score. But
I think another thing we have to watch is dead ball situations as well. Because, what's his name? Ward, on their side. Is it Ward Prowse? That midfielder they got, who's very good on the dead. No, Ward.
Oh, Ward Prowse.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely got to watch a dead ball situation with him. I mean, I thought he was a good player when he went to West Ham. I think he's gone downhill a bit, considering where he could have gone since he went West Ham. But extremely good in a dead ball situation. So I think that's another thing we're going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, good point. James Ward-Prowse, whatever people think about him as a footballer, he is one of the best in the world at set pieces. He's got a fantastic free kick on him. So I'm hoping that we don't give away too many silly free kicks. But to be fair, we look pretty good at set pieces at the moment. Philly, how you doing, bro? The lineup again is Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, and Spence. Bentancur, Paulinho. No, it's not. Sorry, Paulinho, Sarr, and Bergval with Simmons, Kudus, and Matisse Tell. So it looks like he's gone for. Looks like Simmons probably inverting off the left. Let's be fair. He's a natural playmaker. I can't see him being someone that's just going to hug the touchline. So we'll see. Ellie, absolutely. Absolutely. It's kind of impossible, isn't it, to not be nervous when you're a Spurs fan. The danger man for them, though, the two danger men, Paqueta and Bowen for me.
Yeah, I mean, Bowen, I think he's an underrated player, personally.
Yeah, I agree. For me, I think he could do a lot better than West Ham. I really do think he could. I see that as someone that could go to an Arsenal or a Liverpool, if I'm brutally honest. I think he's a very good player. I think it'll be tough to get him out of there, though. He's got 5 years left on his deal and he's English. And they're in the tunnels right now. Jared Bowen is the captain.
Right. And, I'm going to go and watch the game and I'll catch up with you a bit later.
Yeah, man. You've got the link. You're always welcome on. You know that.
Yeah.
Cheers, bro.
Take care of yourself.
Enjoy.
See you later. Bye.
See you, mate. Bye-bye. So, guys and girls, get your score predictions in if you haven't already. I've got to stick with 4-1. West Ham have beaten Spurs in one of the last 7 meetings. The Spurs had the worst record in Premier League London derbies last season. Shock. 6 defeats. West Ham have not won any of their last 6 Premier League home games, drawn 3 and lost 3. Spurs have lost 8 of their last 12 Premier League away games. One of the last 42 Premier League meetings finished goalless at White Hart Lane in 2011. A lot of stats there that Sky have just rolled out. Let me know your score predictions if you haven't got them in already. Big up to Finn, who said, looking ahead, I hope the academy lads, Williams, Barnett, Gray, plus Davis and Bergfeld and Danso play the first half. If not, the full 90 rotation is going to be key. Look, listen, in a campaign where you've got Champions League, you're going to have rotation, right? You are. Not sure that the likes of Williams, Barnett are going to be quite ready, but it is what it is. Here's the teams for you guys. Big up, Finn. Appreciate that. Here's the West Ham team. West Ham line up like this. I'm just gonna move my chair, guys, by the way. So if I look a bit off centre, it's because I've got to watch the game. Mads Hermanson in goal. A back four of Walker-Peters, Mavropanos, Hillman, and Juve. I've not seen him play yet. This will be interesting to see Juve play. Sky have put it down that they're going to go with a midfield 2 of Ward-Prowse and Thomas Souček. Been a good player for them, hasn't he? Mateus Fernandes, Lucas Paqueta, and Somerville. are going to be the three behind Jared Bowen, according to Sky. Doesn't necessarily mean that will be it. And their bench, Fabianski, Areola, Igor, Wilson, Fulkrug, Guilherme, Magassa, Potts, and Irving. So they got some options off the bench, haven't they? Fulkrug, Wilson. They got some options. Spurs line up like this. Vicario is in goal, as always. Vicario is in goal. Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, and Spence. Sky have put it as a midfield two of Bergvall and Paulinho. I don't think it'll quite be that, but Bergvall and Paulinho. Kudus, Sarr, and Xavi Simons behind Matisse Tell. Good luck to Tell today. Show us. Show us. Show us what you've got. Let's have a look. Oh, so and the bench, Kinski, Danso, Richarlison, Adogi, Johnson, Odeber, Bentancur, Davis, and Kolo Muani. So the game is going to be underway in 1 minute's time. 1 minute's time. We're going to be starting. Somerville. Here you go. Somerville played 8 minutes against Forest. 7 touches, 1 assist, and 1 a penalty. That's not a bad 7 minutes, is it? 8 minutes. Philly, absolutely what I said, mate. This is why when all these people say we didn't need a left winger, I think we did. But I still think we're going to win today. Matisse Tell, appearances 16, starts 12, goals 2, assists 1, minutes per GA 311. That's just come up on Sky Sports. Vicario giving a bit of a team talk at the moment. Don't know why Vicario's doing it and not Romero, but hey, it is what it is. Hopefully they're saying, come on, we've got to be better than last time. So Spurs with the opportunity to move into the top two. At least until Chelsea play anyway. I'll let you know when the game is off and underway. Spurs are going to kick off. And we're underway. Spurs are kicking from right to left. And Vicario now is going to launch the ball forward. It's gone high towards Matisse Tell. But the ball was won by Souček, headed back in towards Xavi Simons. And it's going to be a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur. Big up to each and every one of you. Smash that like button if you haven't already. And come on, you Spurs. Let's see if my 4-1 works. Looks like Bergvall's going to launch a throw-in here. Here we go. Looks like he's going to go for the long throw. Here he is. Long throw into the box. Flicked on. It's bobbling about. It's gone as far as Kudus. Shoots. Blocked. And it's gone out wide to Papa Sarr. And Papa Sarr, for me, made the wrong decision there. Wrong decision. He tried to play the ball out for a corner. But he had a lot of work to do. And in the end, messed it up. And it's a goal kick to West Ham. Peter Elsie, I think Tell is in because Richarlison only flew back yesterday from Brazil. And Mawani's not match fit. So I think that's why we're seeing Tell. Good luck to him. Let's see what he's made of. As Bergvall wins a header in midfield. And it's flicked back into the Spurs area. And Christian Romero heads it out towards Kudus. It's a bit scrappy at the moment. It's very scrappy at the moment. Everyone's sort of bunched together. Everyone's bunched together at the moment. There's no real width to this game at the moment. But it is a West Ham throw just inside the Spurs half. And there's Somerville. He gives the ball away to Kudus, who can now run. Kudus is running at them, but Somerville did really well to get back at him and puts the ball out for a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur just inside the West Ham half. Kudus looks up for it. When he's got it, he looks up for it against his old club, as you would expect. Here's Romero, plays it across to Mickey van der Ven. Now, Jed Spence plays a ball long, not a good ball, and West Ham can cut that out. Here's Xavi Simons, wins the throw for, that's a Tottenham throw, isn't it? Nope, given to West Ham. We haven't seen Simons on the ball yet. It's going to be a throw-in taken by Cole Walker-Peters, the ex-Spurs player. And Paulinho was tripped in midfield by Souček, and it's going to be a free kick to Tottenham. So nothing has happened here at either end so far. West Ham haven't got anywhere near our box at the moment, which is good. As Mickey van der Ven gives it to Vicario. Back to Mickey van der Ven. Mickey's going to drive down the channel, is he? Dinks a ball over the top. Mavropanos is going to bring that down. He goes back to the keeper, who slices the ball out of play. Yeah, and it's a throw into Tottenham, just down by Thomas Frank in the technical area. So Jed Spence is going to take the throw on, gives it to Bergvall, who plays the ball all the way back to Romero, and Spurs can build again. Here's Mickey van der Ven. Back into Christian Romero. Out wide to Porro. Porro plays the ball into Tell, who wanted the foul, didn't get it. And then there's a ball over the top by West Ham, straight into the arms of Vicario. Neither team has really got going here so far in the first 4 minutes. It's been a cagey affair so far, you would say. Here's Mickey van der Ven. He goes back to Vicario. Now Van der Ven plays the ball long, quickly into the path of Simons, but way too much on the ball. And Simons is not that quick. That was a lot being asked of Xavi Simons there. But we haven't seen him on the ball yet. So be interesting to see if we can actually get the ball to his feet. And there's Vinay Venkatesham. Is he sitting with Vivian Lewis? Is that Vivian Lewis? I think it is. So that's Vivian Lewis and her son-in-law, if I'm not wrong. Nothing's happening, by the way. The Sky camera is not on the pitch at the moment. Here we go. So it's a throw into Tottenham. Pedro Porro on the right-hand side. Absolutely nothing to write home about at the moment from either team. No chances. No keepers had anything to do. But here's Kudus. Sorry, that was Tell. And the ball played over the top, and Mavropanos can bring that away. Bergvall cuts out a pass that was designed for Paqueta. Now, West Ham have got some space to run into here. Here's Kyle Walker-Peters driving forward, gives it to Jared Bowen. He lays it off to Paqueta, who dinks a ball all the way to the back of the area. It stayed in, actually. Somerville has kept the ball in, gives it to Paqueta. Somerville's got the ball again. West Ham have got a chance here to get the ball in the box with Diouf. Diouf whips a ball in, headed away by Mickey van der Ven, and it's fallen into the path of Kyle Walker-Peters. And that was the best moment of the game so far for West Ham, piling forward. But the ball is now back on the halfway line with Mavropanos. Here's Diouf driving down the left. Somerville lays the ball off to James Ward-Prowse. He gives it back to Diouf. To Paqueta, back to Diouf. Diouf cuts back onto his right. Here's Paqueta. Dinks a ball to the back post, and it's gone out harmlessly in the end. Not really a good start from either team here. It's not been bad, but nothing to really write home about. Spurs haven't really... This was my worry with this midfield, is that there's no one in there to put their foot on the ball. That was my worry. For the first 7 minutes, it looks that way. Anyway, here's Porro. Plays it down the line to Kudus. Good touch. And then he sprays a really good pass, does he, to Spence? He does. Spence brings the ball down. And the ref's given a handball, is he? Yep, the ref's given a handball. He said that Spence handballed it. Bit harsh. But anyway, West Ham now with the ball at the back. Mavropanos now. He breaks the lines, does he? Well, no, Bergvall did really well there to win the ball back. Here's Xavi Simons. The first time we got to see him with the ball at his feet. He's driving through on his right foot, plays a good ball into Bergvall. Bergvall back to Sarr. Sarr now lays it off to Porro. Good chance here. Porro thought about shooting, didn't. Laid it off to Kudus. Kudus one-on-one with his man. He's gone past him. Brilliant there. And he's whipped the ball in, but it's been blocked by Somerville. Really good. Kudus got the ball. And you're saying to yourself, can he take his man on? He does. It goes past his man, whips in the ball, but it comes off of Somerville, who had got back at him well. And it's a corner kick to Tottenham. So that's the first time we've seen Xavi Simons get the ball to his feet and start driving with it. And we caused some problems. Anyway, a corner kick to Tottenham here. Here's Kudus getting some flack. He whips it in to the box, headed away, only as far as Xavi Simons. Simons lays it off to Spence, and Spence goes back to Vicario, and nothing has come of that corner kick. But here's Spence. Now he gets it to Xavi Simons, who's now starting to see the ball to his feet a few times. And now Vicario plays the ball over the top to Kudus. If he's onside, that's brilliant. Kudus brings the ball down in the box, takes on his man, brings it across, blocked, goes back to Sarr, dinks across, headed away, Spurs, and now the offside flag goes up. Why didn't he put that up ages ago? What? Why on earth did he let all of that passage of play happen? Anyway, so the flag went up. The flag went up. We're 10 minutes gone, and I don't think either team have had a shot yet. Wish I had a bit more excitement for you guys. So far, just coming up to the 10-minute mark. As Hermanson plays the ball down the pitch, won by Papa Sarr, and then played out for a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur. Not the greatest game of football you'll ever see. Keith, I agree with you. I think we will shortly. I think we'll start to gain a bit more control of the game. I think we're just starting to settle down a bit here. I think for the first 5 minutes, we didn't really get the ball down on the grass. Here's Vicario. Gives it to Mickey van der Ven. Mickey van der Ven tries to break the lines, but gives the ball away. One back by Spence. Spence now gives the ball to Bergvall. Bergvall back to Spence. And then the ball is out for a throw-in to West Ham. Bergvall, for me, I need to see a bit more from Bergvall, if I'm honest. I need to see him get on the ball, and I'm not too sure what he's doing at the moment, if that makes sense. He's busy, but I need to see him get his foot on the ball. As Romero wins the header against Paqueta, and now Papa Sarr can bring the ball down, gives it to Jed Spence. Here's Mickey van der Ven, Christian Romero. Good ball into Papa Sarr. Lays it off to Paulinho, who gives it back to Porro. Porro now can start switching play. Gives it to Romero. Here's Paulinho. Into Mickey van der Ven. Back to Paulinho. Here's Xavi Simons, who's come a bit more centrally here. Back into Romero to Paulinho. Out to Van der Ven, and Spurs just starting to enjoy some possession at the moment. What can we do with it, though? That's the question. There's Paulinho. Thinks the ball over the top to nobody, and that was poor from Paulinho. That was a poor pass. So 12 minutes gone. Not a lot to write home about at the moment. I'll be honest. I want to see. This is exactly why I wanted the left winger. I want to see Xavi Simons in the middle. I really want to see him in the middle. Thomas Frank has played 8 times against West Ham as Brentford manager and won 6 of them. There's Papa Sarr. And the ball's gone out for a throw into Tottenham Hotspur. George thinks the goal is imminent. I hope so, George. Not at the moment. We haven't had any chances. Neither have they, but here's Papa Sarr. Brings the ball down, gives it to Porro. And then Porro loses the ball, does he? Yes. And then Paulinho goes and wins it back. He really helped his man out there. And then there's a free kick. So far, Tell not really been able to get in the game, has he? As a centre forward. He wins a free kick there, but he's not really been in the game so far. Here's Spence. Here's Bergvall. Xavi Simons takes the ball off him. Now he lays it off to Paulinho. Paulinho spreads play to Kudus, who brings it down in his chest. Spurs want a free kick. They're not going to get it. And now West Ham can build up on the right-hand side. Walker-Peters into Lucas Paquetá. No, sorry, to Fernandez, sorry. Here's Walker-Peters again. Out to Jared Bowen on the right-hand side. He lays the ball in. They're in here. West Ham are in here. Paquetá turns, shoots wide. And that was poor from Tottenham. West Ham just went through us at will there. And that's the first shot of the game, I make it. It's the first shot of the game. Good ball in by Bowen to Fernandez. He laid it off to Paquetá, who spun, and let's be brutally honest, should have done a lot better. Really dragged his shot. Should have done a lot better there, Paquetá, and Spurs have got away with one there. Anyway, here's Kudus. Kudus now is he going to spread the play to Simons? He does. Kudus has spread the play to Simons. Simons has got Spence on the outside. He cuts inside instead, and the ball, he tried to play it into Bergvall, but he thought Bergvall was behind where Bergvall was. Bergvall thought he was in front. And in the end, it came to nothing. For me, here's Jed Spence. I'll come back to what I was going to say in a minute. Jed Spence loses the ball, though. And then one back by Bergvall, lost again by Bergvall. Here's Jared Bowen. He gives it to Paquetá. He gives it to Walker-Peters, back to Jared Bowen, who's gone through 2 of them. And then Mickey van der Ven said, nah, you're not getting past me. So a let off there for Spurs. For me, I just worry whether this midfield's got anyone that can put their foot on the ball. Anyway, throw in here to Carl Walker-Peters. Simons looking poor. Give the bloke a chance. He's had 15 minutes. He's hardly had the football. What are you doing here? Anyway, here's Kilman. Plays the ball out wide. It's a good ball, actually, to Somerville. He gives it to Diouf. Diouf with a good cross in. And, I tell you what, I think it was Fernandez who missed the opportunity there to get a header in. Here's Xavi Simons. Paulinho. Xavi Simons switches play nicely into Sarr. Now, Sarr's got grass to run into. Run into the grass. Don't go sideways. Papa Sarr drives me mad. He's got all of that grass to run into and gives it to someone 5 yards away. You had all of that grass. Come on, you got to do better. I need to see more from Sarr and Bergvall. I'll say it. I need to see more from them. I don't think those two are as good as they're hyped up to be at the moment. Simons gets the ball, lays it off into Paulinho. He gives it to Papa Sarr. Right, Papa Sarr's got grass. Run into the grass. He does not want he's not good with the ball, is he? He's not good with the ball. He doesn't want to drive with the ball. Here's Van der Ven, Romero. There's a good ball out wide to Xavi Simons. Simons now have a chance to take his fullback on. Cuts in instead onto his right foot. Has a shot and it's headed away by the West Ham players. That's the first time we've seen Simons get the ball on the left, drive inside, have a shot. And I don't think it was going in, to be honest. I think it was going miles wide, but Kilman didn't know that and has headed the ball over for a corner kick to Tottenham. Someone in the chat saying Bergvall is overrated. Look, I think Bergvall needs time. I think Bergvall needs time. I just don't think he is. I just don't think he's as good as everyone says so far. I need to see more from him and Sarr as actual footballers. I need to see more. Anyway, corner kick here going to be taken by Kudus. A chance for Spurs to do something. Kudus, ball into the 6-yard box, and it's 1-0 to Tottenham. It's 1-0 to Tottenham. No, it's not. The ref has ruled it out. Why has the ref ruled that out? I don't know what's happened here. Corner came in. Romero's headed it into the back of the net, and the ref's... What's he... Let's have a look here. What's wrong with that? What? Sorry, what is wrong? What is wrong with that? I can't see anything wrong with that goal. At all. I can't see anything wrong with that goal at all. Surely. God, that is nonsense. What on earth? What on earth decision is that? That is ridiculous. That is absolute. How on earth is that not being given as a goal? That is honestly, that is shocking. What? I'm baffled. I'm absolutely baffled now. You can't do anything in the box. Anyway, we play on. Here's Kyle Walker-Peters down the line to Bowen. And a great tackle by Mickey van der Ven. That is mad. Sorry, that is mad. I would say that if anything, the West Ham players are pulling at the Spurs players. That is mental. But, hey. And VAR didn't even overturn it. That is shocking. If they look, that is shocking. Juve now crosses the ball in. Romero plays it out for a corner to West Ham. That is, I don't get it at all. Football confuses me now. God, you think back in the days where people were elbowing each other and, oh, mate, what is... Nah. That is absolute rubbish. Anyway, corner kick for Spurs to defend against here. They've gone short. Here's Ward-Prowse. Cross to the back post. Headed back in and to the arms of Vicario. That I'm baffled, honestly. Dan, abso-bloody-lutely. It might as well be a non-contact sport because that was a shocking decision. Yeah, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Anyway, here's Vicario. Tell you what, I'll be honest. I've not seen Matisse Tell. He's not doing anything really, is he? He's not really in the game. I'm not blaming him as such, but I think he needs to go and try and get the ball or drop deep or something. At the moment, it's... And there's a foul to... I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I'm just looking at it again here. I don't get it. I don't see the foul. I genuinely can't see the foul. Walker Peters has got Romero's shirt. Mavropanos has got his arms around Mickey van der Ven. Oh, mate. Ah. What makes it worse? I tell you what, this is what makes it worse, Arcus. That's what makes it worse. Is that VAR had a chance to look back at that and go, no, nothing's really happened there. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Here's Somerville running at Spurs. Here's Paqueta giving away, and Simmons gets the ball back, and Spurs have made a hash of that. Papasar, I'm going to say it. I'm confused about Papasar. Here's Kyle Walker-Peters. Simmons got back at him well. But Walker-Peters has got a chance to get the ball in, and then Simmons gets a good tackle in. Two-handed push. I can't believe... I just... Matisse Tell is down injured. I'll be honest. I don't know what this guy does. I genuinely don't know what this guy does on a football pitch. I genuinely don't know. Look, he's injured, but is he going to come off? Is he back to his feet? I'm really frustrated after that goal being disallowed. And you've got Paqueta at the other end diving. Anyway, a throw into West Ham. Kyle Walker-Peters. And West Ham have messed that up, and Tottenham have got a throw in. Matisse Tell is not running smoothly at all. Yeah, he's not running smoothly at all. Now, Jed Spence will take the throw in down the left-hand side. Jed Spence goes long. Tell flicks on the header. I'm going to say it. We need a left winger so much so that our playmaker can go and be a playmaker. We need a left winger so much. I'll be honest. I'm sorry, guys. I really want Tell to do well, but just everything, his touch, his control, he's just so poor. Hopefully he goes and scores a goal now. I've said that, but it's like playing with 10 men. Here's Jed Spence driving down the left. Plays the ball in, not a good ball. We need to find a way to get Simmons into the middle. We need to find a way to get him into the middle. As I said, Sarah and Bergvall have got no creativity in them at all. There's the ball over the top by West Ham. Romero will deal with that and goes home to Vicario. Vicario plays it out to Mickey van der Ven, who can drive down the left, gives it to Jed Spence. And the ball's lost by Jed Spence. Not had a good game here so far, I don't think, Jed Spence. And then a throw in to Tottenham Hotspur. I'd like to see Mawani come on. Or I can't believe I'm about to say this. Even Richarlison, Patel. He doesn't offer any presence up top, does he? He doesn't offer any presence. Here's Papa Sarr to Van de Ven. He goes across to Romero. Now Vicario. Come on, Romero. Holds on to it so long, Romero. Paulinho went and got it off him in the end. Gives it to Van de Ven. Here's Xavi Simons on the left. I want to see him in the middle. I really want to see Xavi Simons in the middle. Simons just popping the ball about, giving a few 1-2s. Goes across to Christian Romero. Speed it up, Christian. That's better. There's the ball into Xavi Simons. Simons, I see what he was trying to do, but there wasn't anyone there. He was almost trying to lay himself in. That's where he should have been. Right idea, wrong execution, I would say there. James Cottrell, absolutely. That's why we've got to get Simons in the middle. This is why when people like Lubo are arguing with me, it doesn't matter that we didn't get a left winger. It bloody does. It bloody does. Here's Christian Romero. Plays it across to Jed Spence. I don't like Bergvall and Sarr playing together. I'm going to say it. I don't like both of them in the team at the same time. I'm going to ask the question. I don't know what either of them do. Here's Bergvall. Knocks the ball on to Spence. Can he keep that in? He can. Jed Spence is one-on-one with Kyle Walker-Peters. Step over. Now Bergvall lays it back. Here's Xavi Simons. Can he get the shot away? He goes across to Pedro Porro. Porro dinks it to the back post. Too much on it. And the move died in the end. Yeah, I need to see more from Bergvall and Sarr, and I need to see it. I think that in this, I would get on Bentancur and Mawani is what I would do. I would get on Bentancur and Mawani. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't look at either of them and think, wow, they're brilliant. I think everyone raves about them when they do one nice thing. But for me, not enough to their game for me. So did someone just say Paulinho is done? Sorry, did I just read that? Paulinho is done. What are you talking about? Pedro Porro brings the ball down out the air brilliantly. Now driving forward. But a poor pass. Again, the passing. I think you might be right there. I think you might be right there. Yeah, I think you might be right there. I'd rather see Odegaard on the left and Simons in the middle. Here is Simons running at them. Still running at them. Lays it off to Jed Spence. Jed Spence wins a corner kick for Tottenham Hotspur. Kyle Walker-Peters giving us another chance. Yeah, I listen. I can't keep talking about him, but yeah, you're right. I don't know what he's good at. I keep seeing people say there's a player in there. I'm yet to see it. Sorry. So Xavi Simons is going to take the corner. Whips into the 6-yard box, headed away this time. And Porro plays it back to Spence. And Spence, that's an awful pass. Gives the ball away to Paqueta. Paqueta now, West Ham are away here, are they? If he keeps that on, he didn't keep it on. Really poor that from Spence. Really, really poor from Spence. I think he's had a terrible game today so far. They're showing this. I cannot believe this goal's disallowed. I just cannot believe it was disallowed. Anyway, here's Papa Sarr. Done absolutely nothing today. Papa Sarr really disappointed. There's a ball over the top. Kudus is chasing. We need to get the ball out to Kudus as he wins a corner kick for Tottenham Hotspur. Kudus wins the corner kick. Good work there. It was a hopeless ball, really, but he made the best of it. So another chance for Spurs for the corner. Here's Kudus. Romero back inside that 6-yard box. Bergval's in there. Van der Ven's in there. Sarr, Paulinho, Tell. 6 Spurs players in the box. As we win another corner. Lots of pushing and shoving. Said to you in this window, I said we needed a ball-playing 8 and we needed a left winger. So I've said this all along. Nothing I've seen changes my mind. All these people going, brilliant window. I think we left ourselves short. Now Romero and Bowen both having a chat with the ref. I mean, how is that? That's got to be that's got to be a penalty, right? I mean, that's mental. So ours is disallowed, but that's okay. That's mental. That's absolutely crazy, isn't it? I'm not normally one that blames refs and stuff, but that's crazy. How on earth can ours be disallowed, but Fernandez can just bring him down? Anyway, corner kick into the box. It's flagging around. Tell couldn't get the shot away. Here's Pedro Porro. Lifts the ball back into the box. It's gone all the way through to Papa Sarr. He lays it off to Simmons. Simmons dinks it to the back post, and it's gone over everyone and out for a goal kick. I mean, how on earth these decisions are being made is absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. I'm not normally one to mock refs and blame that, but these decisions are mental. Anyway, here's Vicario. Plays the ball into the path of Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro into the great touch from Kudus. Gives it to Bergval. Brilliant touch from Kudus. Here's Bergval to Sarr. Sarr turns. Gives the ball back to Kudus, who's got a bit of space to run into now. 3 West Ham players over there. Kudus whips in the ball into the box and a header away by Mavropanos. So another corner kick for Tottenham. Tottenham are starting to have most of this game now in the last 5-10 minutes. You know it's bad when we're asking for Richie to come on, right? You know how bad Tell is when you're asking for Richie to come on. Anyway, this is our 6th corner of the game. Short this time to Porro. Porro whips the ball in, headed in by Sarr, but away by the West Ham player for a corner kick. Spurs mixed up the corners there. We're definitely much better from set pieces, aren't we? not sure that was a corner, but let's have a look. I don't actually think it was a corner, but hey, they've been getting all the decisions. Another corner kick. Kudus is going to whip this one in again. He's had some dangerous corners. Whips it into the 6-yard box. Headed away by Souček. And now cleared, but not very well, by Somerville. The ball gets played back into Bergvall, but Jared Bowen's there. Jared Bowen goes down and the ref gives a foul. What is going on? How is that? What is going on here? I feel your pain, Bergvall. What is going on? That is crazy. Everything is going their way. Frank's looking annoyed by it, you can see. Anyway, 6 minutes until half-time. Paulinho wins the header. Now Papa Sarr. Wait, he's so wasteful, Papa Sarr. Really wasteful. Throw into to Tottenham. Jed Spence is going to take it up. Here's Simmons. The ball now with Papa Sarr. He lays it into Romero. Speed it up, Romero. Good play by Crescencio Somerville. Lays it off to Paqueta. Back to Somerville. He's done well there, Somerville, to get his team up the pitch. Here's Bowen. Gets the cross in. Spurs have... Oh, I tell you what. Van der Ven went to header it. Vicario called for it. He didn't leave it. And then it ended up bouncing off of Romero into the arms of Vicario. We've got to get Simmons into the middle. Got to. Can we all agree that the Matisse Tell experiment doesn't work? Here's Simmons. Cuts in. Lays the ball off to Pedro Porro. No, Kudus. Kudus has got the ball. Plays the ball down the line to Bergvall. Bergvall dinks it across. Headed away. Tell is nowhere. Whenever the ball comes in, Tell is absolutely nowhere to be seen. I don't think anyone's turning on him. I just don't think he's as good as many think. I think that for me, he shouldn't be starting. There's a ball in. Bergvall couldn't quite get there, but Spence keeps recycling the ball, and Spurs are definitely having the upper end of this game now. Here's Bergvall. Lays it off to Kudus. Problem is, he's whipping balls in. No one can head it in the box, and now Spurs have another corner. What does this mean? What do we mean? Are we turning on the manager because we're 0-0? Here's Kudus. Corner kick for Tottenham Hotspur. Can we make this one count? Well, we've already made one count, but can we make this one count properly? Kudus with another corner into the 6-yard box. Mickey van der Ven was going up for it, but the keeper punched it away, only as far as Xavi Simmons. Xavi Simmons dinks the ball to the back post. It's headed away again, only as far as Kudus. Can he get his shot away? Takes on his man, pulls the ball back. He's fumbling around. Shot blocked. Oh, that's the best chance we've had. The shot was blocked. Spurs are definitely having the upper hand now. The last 10 minutes has been all Tottenham. Here's Xavi Simmons, lovely back heel to Spence. Whips the ball all the way across, headed away again. And I'll tell you what, West Ham have been having to defend very well here. Here's Kudus. edge of the box, lays it off to Paulinho, back to Mickey van der Ven. He then spreads it wide to Spence. Spence crosses, blocked. West Ham are clearing it, and now the ball goes back to Spence. Here's Simmons. And he's tripped, is he? No, the ref says no. The ref is giving us nothing. Problem is, we've got no one in the box who can head it. Kudus, great tackle by Juve. And that's really going to get the... And now West Ham are on a counter-attack here. And Mickey van der Ven, great tackle. So a good bit of sustained pressure by Spurs. But the problem is, the crosses that are coming in are actually good. Tell's not a target man. Dare I say it, we've got... Richie's probably needed. Oh. But we're definitely the better team. Here's Romero into Xavi Simmons. But Bowen wins the ball back. And then Bergvall wins it back. Great tackle, Bergvall. And now Sarg. Really good play from Bergvall, that. He does that well. He breaks up play brilliantly. Simmons now to Spence. Spence plays the ball down the line to Tell. He's not good enough, is he? And now it's Romero can play the ball back to Vicario. To be fair, I think we should be in front here. Like with a number of corners and crosses and the disallowed goal. Tell, I don't think has won. I don't think he's won one header against the centre halves. I don't think he's won one. I don't know what this is based on. He looks awful. I don't know what this is based on. As West Ham win a free kick inside the Spurs half. So as we come up to the 45 minutes, we'll see how much stoppage time there is to play. Here's Mavropanos out wide to Paqueta. He's gone down the line to Walker-Peters. Here's Paqueta. Now, here's Xavi Simmons down on the left-hand side, and he's not controlled that well. The ball's gone out. And, yeah, I'm not sure about this two number 8s going from midfield. Not sure about that. So there's only going to be 2 minutes of added time. As Romero comes across and mops up. Did say all window. Got to buy what you need. Ball playing midfielder, left winger. You need these players. I was told it was a brilliant window and we've got loads of depth in every area. I worry about the central midfield area. I really do. West Ham here with Juve. He's going to get the crossover. No, he doesn't. Now he does. No, he doesn't. Porro done well there. Porro did well there. And now Kudus. Can he drive through the midfield? He's laid it off to Xavi Simmons. Have Spurs got a chance for one last attack? Jed Spence on the overlap. We need to get some bodies in the box. Where is Matisse Tell? Here's Jed Spence. He's been tripped. And the referee has given a foul to Tottenham. So this will be the last. I think that's given a foul, hasn't he? This will be the last moment of the half. Got 2 men on there. But Jed Spence went down the wing, and I'm looking. Where are the 8s busting a gut to get in the box? Where's Tell? Like. So it's going to be a free kick to Spurs. Hello. It's going to be a free kick to Spurs. This will be the last action of the first half. Jed Spence has stayed down. No, he's back to his feet. He's back to his feet now. And Xavi Simons has got the ball. But do you know what, Internet Vegetable? Do you know what? Isn't that the sign that he's not very good? When you start feeling bad for the player, maybe he gets a goal here. But this is going to be the last moment of the first half. A free kick to Tottenham. We've looked the most dangerous team in this game. A free kick's going to be whipped in by Xavi Simons. He's played it in. It's headed away. The volley from Porro is missed and then headed clear, and the ref blows for half time. And I think changes. I think changes need to be made here. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. Matisse Tell has got to come off. And I think Bergvall or Sarr, I think one of them needs to come off for Bentancur. Bentancur will put his foot on the ball at least. I don't like that. Bergvall and Sarr, for me, can't play together. They can't play together. 5 words, people. 5 words is what we normally ask for. It's what we're going to ask for now. Let me just quickly change the score, the timer. Sorry, 1 second. 1 second, people. 5 words. 5 words. Perchy has sent me his 5 words. Get Tell off the pitch is what Perchy has said. Listen, I'm not going to blame Tell for that, but he is really poor. This has got to go down for me as one of the most baffling signings in the club's history to date. He can't control a ball. He's not good in the air. His first touch is bad. His passing's bad. He doesn't run at people. Oh God, you got a new toy? Oh, is that an old toy? By any chance, have we got any chocolate? Could you possibly get me a bit of chocolate? I'm running low on energy. Just getting some sugar and some chocolate, guys. Sorry, I just realised I hadn't muted myself as I said that. Now everyone's seeing me asking for chocolate. Listen, I thought we actually, last 10, 15 of that half, we started to put them under pressure. We started to get into their box. The problem for me is we've got no centre forward. No centre forward. I would get Richarlison or Muani on. I'd probably get Odegaard on and move Simmons centrally. Let's see if Frank does anything. He didn't 2 weeks ago in the Bournemouth game. Now, it's not been as bad as that, but we are struggling for me. We are struggling when we go forward. This is why I've said to everyone time and time again, Spurs left themselves short, right? People like Phil Coys will tell you, nah, the squad's great window. You're seeing again today, we didn't buy what we needed. We didn't buy what we needed. Telly's feeding off. It's not that. He's just so bad. Sorry, mate. I'm sorry. But I think at some point, Phil, you need to realise what I think everyone else is seeing. This boy is not good. He has got nothing to his game at all. Bryce said, Sava, tell me I'm wrong, but for mine, the issue is the midfield and centre. Mate, agreed. I said all summer, need a centre mid. Said we need that ball playing number 8. We need a ball player. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you very much. Look at that. Oh, look at that. All right, you leaving Stu with me? I agree, Bryce. Sorry, I'm live. Thank you. Hang on, leave those with me. Yeah. Right, don't shut that door. He'll panic. I'll just keep feeding him treats while you do that. Good boy. Good boy. Sorry, you're all having to listen to me give the dog some treats. Yeah, listen, I've said all summer, I feel that we need number 8. I feel that we need a ball-playing number 8 that gets on the ball and dictates the game. I've said that for ages. I feel we need a left winger. Problem is, too many fans with no ambition. Too many fans going, oh, no, I like it. Oh, we've had a great window. This is the best window ever. I don't think it is. I think now we're gonna have to have this every game. Now, Phil, I'm sorry, mate. He is awful. It's not about service. It's his all-round game, Phil. He can't control a ball. He can't out-muscle anyone. He's bad in the air. He doesn't make the defender. He doesn't pull defenders away. Sorry, mate. Listen. You know I love you to bits, Phil. But this is you've been wrong about this guy since he came in. You have been wrong about this guy since he came in. He's just not good. He should never be at Tottenham Hotspur, ever. Hey, Tell equals playing with 10 men. Listen, Bergvall, I think, has done some good things. When he's got the ball, I need to see more. Him and Star, when they're both very good at breaking up play, they're both full of vigor, they're both full of energy, but I need to see more. So again, I'm agreeing with Stel. Stel said, sorry, they both, yeah. Stel has, sorry, one second. Yeah, I make Stel absolutely right here. He said to me, he said, Tell is so shit. Yeah, he's right. Tell is so shit. I agree. I agree. I just don't know. I don't know what he said. I don't know what Sarr and Bergvall do. Agreed. Can't disagree with him on that. Has he? At what? I think he's broken up play a little bit. Look at that. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? I think he's broken up play a little bit. But for me, we've got to... Hang on 1 second. Here you go. Here's the voice note I'm going to let... Hang on. I'm going to say this to my group, the Spurs 5 group. I'm going to say, lads, this is why I fought tooth and nail over needing a left winger. No, over needing a left. Let me know if you agree with this. So, lads, this is why I fought tooth and nail over needing a left winger. Because now we have to shoehorn players there, and we end up with no creativity in the middle. Is that fair? Is that, I mean, guys, girls, do you agree with that? That's what I said. Here you go. Lads, this is why I fought tooth and nail over needing a left winger, because now we have to shoe on players there and we end up with no creativity in the middle. It's madness. Even Wolfie has said, mate, Tell is so shit. You literally would be better off with Johnson up front. Mate, tell me about it. He is terrible. And I think people like Phil Coys are now in the denial stage. I think some people are now in the denial stage, aren't they? Of they've been very wrong about a very poor player, but he's feeding off scraps. I'm not even talking about him looking like scoring goals. I'm talking about him as a footballer. Sure. I'm not talking about him even scoring goals. I'm talking about his all-round play. He just looks so off it. And that's what I saw of him at Bayern Munich. That's what we all saw last year. We all saw that last year. Hang on, just giving the dog some treats. We all saw last year how bad he was, and still fans wanted to sign him. Not all fans, still people wanted to sign him. It is a baffling fan base for me. Baffling at times. Baffling. Where are we? Let's have a look at some of these comments. I don't know what he is, Peter. Agreed. Oh, bloody good, this Kit Kat. Yeah, can't hold a ball, can't control the ball, can't beat a man in a physical game, no pace. I don't know what he does. Agreed. Or Richarlison. The number of crosses we're getting him. This might be a game that suits Richie, because he will bully Mavropanos, or he'll go toe-to-toe with Mavropanos in the air. Yeah, sorry. I'm not, I don't know, actually. I don't know. Let me ask him. Let me ask him. 1 second. 1 second. Let's see. There you go. But can we talk about the real talking point from that half? How was that goal disallowed? How? How was that goal disallowed? I will never know. You know, not when Solanke and Mawani in the team. There's no shoehorning. Yes, there is. We've got no left winger. Phil, this is the thing. Sorry, mate. Your football takes baffle me. How can you not see we didn't buy what we needed? I'm going to ask you all a question right now. Is anyone else baffled that we did not bring in a left winger this year? I know I get called negative, but come on. Surely we had to bring in a left winger this year, because now what we're going to see is this. Every game it will be, God, does Simmons go out there? Does Mawani go out there? Does Richarlison go out there? Does Johnson go out there? Because we didn't buy what we needed. And people are going, no, I think it was a great window. Didn't buy what we needed. Baffling. Absolutely baffling. Right. Let's see what we do the second half. I agree. Yeah, even Lubo said Tell has to come off. I'm going to say it, one of the worst players I've seen in a Spurs shirt. I think I'm going to say it. There you go, guys. Hold me to it. He might be good in the future, but he is one of the worst players I've seen in a Spurs shirt. I think he is dreadful. Hopefully he scores in the second half, but awful. Yep. Mad. Absolutely mad. Yeah, absolutely it was, wasn't it? A left winger was an absolute must. Glenn, not good enough. These fans didn't want Jack Grealish. Not good enough. But fans accept it. Look, I have to go on these shows and debate why, when people are going, oh my God, it was an amazing window. And I'm going, it was good. Not amazing. People go, no, you're greedy. You want everything in one window. Yes, I want a left winger. Jordan said, Sava, I've been saying since August the 30th how imperative it is that we get a left winger. Absolutely, mate. I completely agree. I don't want to see Xavi Simons out here. Xavi Simons should be in the middle of the park, getting the ball and running at them. Right? He should be running at them. But we've got no number 10 if he's out on the left. Oh, that's madness. That's a mad decision, mate. That's a mad decision. By the way, you lot, there's 850 of you and 330 likes. Come on. Can we smash that button, please? Come on. I'm getting messages from Wolfie, Angus, all these other fans. I'm getting loads of messages. Everyone's saying the same thing. Tell is shit. It's mad. John, some people are mad. Some people are mad. They just come out with... Some people want to be controversial for being controversial's sake. Yeah? I just call it straight down the line. Every time you say a player's not good enough, people go, oh, he's young. Can't always be the excuse. You're playing for Tottenham Hotspur. You're playing for Tottenham Hotspur. The age isn't a thing. If you are in the first team of Tottenham Hotspur, the age is irrelevant. Massively, Mark. Massively. Exactly. This is where he should be. He should be in the number 10, getting the ball on the half turn, causing problems. Instead, he's having to cut in from the left. I'm just a bit baffled. I'm just a bit baffled that the club didn't do more what's needed. By the way, guys, we are 230 subscribers away from 23,000. If any of you haven't subscribed, please do. The link is pinned. I'll just put it in the chat again now. Please do. Let's do some. Ian, as a channel member, big up to you. As the players like Sartel, Adogi and Odeber have got this season to prove themselves. If they don't, we must move them on. Completely agree. Completely agree. Big year for these footballers. Big year for these footballers. Completely agree. Rodney has said, let's see, is Matisse Tell come back out? If he's come back out, I'll be really annoyed. Why does Spence have to tell where to run? Yeah, absolutely, Rodney. It's madness. Absolutely. Big up to you, my man. Appreciate that. DMB Forever with the super sticker. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that, my man. And with the second half's going to get underway. Bear with me. Let me make sure I don't miss it. Jared Bowen. Matisse Tell's back out there. Here we go. We're underway. I'm a bit shocked at the moment. I need to see a much better second half. Big up Sava. Some fans getting players they deserve. Mate, absolutely. Absolutely, Andy. Here's West Ham. Shot early on, and it's flown wide. Big up to you, Andy. Look, I'm just... Anyway, here we are. Let me get back to my stream position. Here's Vicario. Out wide to Mickey van der Ven. Here's Bergvall bringing the ball down. Bergvall, he's got players across. What are you going to do with it? Bergvall lays it off to Jed Spence, who pulls it back, and it's out for a corner. And Spurs have another corner kick. Another corner kick. Come on, let's stop. Let's not do silly things. Come on, let's not be silly. So Xavi Simons is going to go out and take this corner kick from the left-hand side. So Simons takes the corners from the left, Kudus from the right. Can Tell, after all that talk, can Tell grab a goal? Can he do something? Xavi Simons, corner into the 6-yard box. Header in, Papa Sarr, 1-0, Tottenham Hotspur. Great corner. What a brilliant corner. Everyone stood still. Papa Sarr, boom, at the back post. Well done, Papa. That's what he's in there to do. That's much better. Really good corner from Xavi Simons. And Tottenham Hotspur are 1-0 up. Unless the referee finds any way to try and disallow that goal as well. A much better start. A much better start to this half. Stewie, what's this? What's this? Stewie. What are these? Good boy. Oh, is that nice? Good boy. Corner kick from Xavi Simons. All the way to the back post. And I tell you what, the West Ham inquest will be, how on earth was Papa Sarr? Oh, look at, he's just left there on his own. God, if that was my team, I'd be fuming. But Papa Sarr couldn't miss, could he? Look, he couldn't miss. Well, listen, the corner kicks are a positive to Tottenham. The corner kicks are a positive. The corner kicks are a positive. And I'm glad we scored from a corner. I'm really glad. Anyway, here is, the game has restarted. So just coming up to 50 minutes. There we go. 48 minutes. West Ham 0, Tottenham 1. Can we go and put the dagger into them now and get another one? Here's Xavi Simons. Let's hope. Hopefully they've come out. They've had a bit of a bollocking at half time. Good. It was a decent last 15 minutes in the first half, but we just couldn't get our shots away. But Papa Sarr scores from a corner. And let's be fair, the way the game's gone, I think most of us would have put our money on it being a corner that we score from. Anyway, here's West Ham. Here's Jared Bowen. Is he going to get a shot away? He does. He shoots. Fumbled by Vicario and out for a corner kick. Not the most convincing goalkeeping there. I'm going to be honest. Let's have a look. For me, I'm not convinced by that goalkeeping at all. That wasn't a difficult shot or a difficult save. Really not impressed there by Vicario. But corner kick. Tottenham with a lead now. Do West Ham come out and play a bit? Do Spurs come out and play a bit? Corner kick. Vicario punches it, not convincing, and the header back in to his arms. Anyway, here's Xavi Simons. Brings the ball down. He's got Paqueta. He's nutmeg Paqueta. Wonderful to see. That's a good pass into Tell. Come on. Tell. That was a wonderful pass into Tell. Where's your pace? Where's your... Oh, lovely ball from Simons there. Simons. Sorry, guys. I don't normally hit my chair or anything. So frustrating. What is Tell good at? What is he good at? That's his chance. Get there. Knock the defender out of the way. Through on goal. He's got no strength. Here's Jed Spence. Cutting through. He's taken down. The ref's not given anything. Papa Sarr wins the ball back. It was a bit of a hospital ball to Xavi Simons. And Papa Sarr's an enigma for me. He really is. I think he's, when I say an enigma, he does so many good things and then the difficult things... Tell. Oh, Tell. Oh. He does so many good things, Sarr, doesn't he? Like getting in the box and scoring a few goals. But when he has to just do a nice 5-10 yard pass, he's left wanting. But Tottenham here, first 5 minutes, a good first 5 minutes from Spurs here. We look much more composed here in this second half. Here's Bergvall. Long throw into the box. Here's Mickey van der Ven. Brings it down. He's going to try and whip the ball in. He does, but only into the arms of Hermansen. So now let's see what do West Ham do. Do they come out a bit and play? There's the ball over the top to Bowen. Jed Spence is running with him. And the ref given the free kick. I'm not sure that was. I'll happily change my mind if I see it again. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't know. Could, 50-50 for me, that. So Jed Spence with a yellow card and West Ham have got a dangerous free kick here. So James Ward-Prowse. Yeah, I think if that was a foul, it's not a yellow, is it? If it's a foul, fair enough, but not a yellow. Anyway, a free kick here. Ward-Prowse whips it in, and the header was won in there by Max Kilman, but the ball flew high and over the bar. You lot on the like button, eh? You lot on the like button. We should have 600 likes. We've only got 395. Never mind. Here's Vicario. Gives it to Mickey van der Ven. Mickey gives it to Jed Spence. Not really got an out ball here, but in the end, he gets it to... Tell is so weak. He is so weak. There's no abuse. He's just not good. Sorry, but he's 20 years old. That's not a kid. He's a professional footballer. Come on, man. And the ref has sent off. The ref has sent off the West Ham player, Thomas Souček. The ref has sent him off. West Ham are down to 10 men. West Ham are down to 10 men. He lunged in. He lunged in on Paulinho. I want to see it again, but it didn't look a nice tackle. Oh, you can see there, look. He's gone right through the sock onto the shin pad. Wow. So this game has changed in the first 10 minutes. Spurs scoring. Let's have a look at this. Oh, yeah. I want to see this in slow-mo. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a red card. No bias. That's a red card. He lunged, didn't get anywhere near the ball, and went right through Paulinho's leg. Oh. So West Ham down to 10 men. Tottenham 1-0 up. Surely Spurs can't mess it up from here. Yeah, not a good tackle there. Paulinho's back to his feet, which is a good thing. But sometimes a team getting a man sent off, it can go one of two ways. You either score loads or they sit in and make it a really, really tough game. So let's see. Ball over the top. Bergvall with a header. It's 2. It's 2-0 to Tottenham. Spurs took the free kick early, right over the top of everyone. And Bergvall just looped his header. And the two centre mids, to be fair, we said the two number 8s have to get in the box. Both of them have got in the box and got their goal. Fair play to Bergvall. Fair play to Sarr. 2 headers. Tottenham are 2-0 up. It should be 3-0. But what a good header that was. Really good header. Really, really good header. I mean, let's have a look at this. Here you go. Paulinho laid the ball off to Romero. And, what a pass by Romero, by the way. What a pass by Romero. What a pass by Romero. Well, that was I'll tell you what a stunning header that is from Bergvall. What a stunning header that is. By the way, I always leave it a minute before I change the timer, the score, because refs disallow every goal now, so I always check. What a goal. That is a brilliant header. Take a bow, young man. Take a bow. And that's his first Premier League goal for Tottenham. I mean, if any of you aren't seeing it, I'm sure most of you are watching, but if any of you are relying on me, he was miles out and he just got over, looped it over the keeper. Really good. That's as good a header as you'll see. That really is. I think, is Perchy doing stuff on my channel? Has he posted stuff on? Sorry, I think Perchy's posted a short on my channel. I love Perchy. He is a great guy. So anyway, a long throw coming in here from Bergvall. Headed away, and it's going to be another corner to Tottenham. It's going to be another corner to Tottenham Hotspur. Kudus is going to take this one. So Tottenham well in control here. The two number 8s, to be fair, whatever we say, Frank put the two number 8s to get in, and they've both scored. Kudus, corner, flicked in and over the bar by Paulinho. Phil, great pass from Romero. That is a worldie of a pass from Romero. The vision on that, absolute sublime goal all round. And Tottenham now are 2-0 up against 10 men. Surely. Let me let you know as well, by the way. Tottenham, we're second. 2 more goals and we go top. 2 more goals and we go top. Or 3, maybe. Is my 4-1 on? Can I change my 4-1 to 4-0? I mean, this second half, West Ham have not laid a glove, have they, in this second half? There you go, mate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bergvall now into Spence. You've got bodies over. Spence is 1-on-1 with Walker-Peters. Ball to the back post. Header's gone over and it nearly fell to Kudus, but Kudus brings it down and wins the throw-in. And I think Tottenham from here should kick on. I tell you what, and you're not wrong. Yes, it is Bergvall's first goal. Yes, a Premier League goal. So West Ham making a couple of changes. I'd like to see Kolo Muani come on now, if I'm honest. I'd like to see Kolo Muani come on. I don't know how fit he is. Yeah, it's now 10v10, isn't it? So Magassa and Guilherme are on, and Somerville, and I didn't see who else went off. So maybe ask for... Yeah, well, listen, he needs to. Listen, 10 men. 10 men. If he's ever going to have opportunities, it's today, right? And Tottenham are absolutely dominating now. Absolutely dominating. There he is, the love of my life, Nicholas Collison. Love you, dude. How you doing, mate? You all right? You good? Yeah, man. Look, that's my glow up. Pop. I pop. Big up to you, my man. As it stands, Tottenham are second in the Premier League table. 9 points with Arsenal, Liverpool and Bournemouth, who have done bloody well. Bournemouth. Spurs now absolutely dominating this game. Here's Bergvall. So Bergvall now is getting a lot more time on the ball in the midfield. Good pass from him out wide to Jed Spence. By the way, I do think Bergvall will be a top player. I do think he'll be a top player. Here's Jed Spence. He's running at them and wins another corner. How many corners have Spurs had? How many corners? How many corners have we? Is this number 11 or 10 or something? What I'd like to see now, maybe get a Romero or Van der Ven. Just wrap them in cotton wool a little bit. Here's Porro. Plays the ball out wide to Tell. Tell lays it off to Paulinho, into Bergvall. Bergvall into the box. He's dancing. He's lost it. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. Mickey Van der Ven and Tottenham are flying. Are we flying to the top of the table? We are 1 goal away. Mickey Van der Ven and the 2 number 8s. Tottenham Hotspur 3-0. And Potter could be in big trouble, couldn't he? Potter could be in big trouble. The ball was played into Bergvall. He was dancing, lost, I think it, I'll watch it back, but I think he lost the control of the ball a little bit. It went into the path of Mickey and he just drove it home. Tottenham Hotspur 3-0 up away at West Ham, and my 4-1, changing it to 4-0. The West Ham fans are leaving. Matisse Tell played the ball into Paulinho. Paulinho pinged it into Bergvall. Bergvall, yeah, he tried a bit of skill that didn't work. I'm not knocking him. The ball ended up, look, here you go. He tried a bit of, and it fell to Van der Ven, and he weren't missing from there with his right foot like a striker. Look at that. Boom. Have that. 3-0. Tottenham are going to be top of the table if we keep this going. Wow. What's this being sent to me? Oh. Mickey Van der Ven. 3-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. And again, and there's 25 minutes to go. I can see this getting ugly for them, not us. Am I able to say we've won this game, or is that too Spursy of me? Here's West Ham going down the line. Mickey Van der Ven, though, great defending, sees the ball out. Listen, right now, who said they want Ange back? No, you don't, Trev. No, you don't. There's Vivian Lewis with a wry little smile. Vivian Lewis there. And, is that gold? Or Sullivan? I can't ever remember which one passed away. Can someone let me know? Who? One? There's Karen Brady. She weren't looking happy. Is Karen Brady's husband Paul Pescasolido? Am I making that up? Oh, Ben. Mate, this will be 5. I'm telling you. Here's Jed Spence. Guys, let me know. Shall I do a show tonight? 10 o'clock, maybe? Should we do a show? 10 p.m.? Who knows? Let me know. Let me know if you want a show at 10 p.m. Tell you what, we've had a... Can anyone... Hang on, here you go. I'll tell you, that's lazy of me. Let me have a look. Looks like Udogie and Richarlison are coming on. Udogie and Richarlison. What a nice game to come into, right? Tottenham have had 11 corner kicks so far. Can anyone do me a favour? Could anyone tell me what's the Premier League record? Here's Kudus, volley over the bar. Leaning back on that. Over the bar. Yeah, just didn't quite catch that right. But at the moment, there we go. If that's the case, if people want a show at 10, we'll have a show at 10. Daniela, let's be brutally honest. We were on top. Should have been 1-0 at half-time. We scored early doors. I'm sorry. I think we dominated this. I think we've absolutely dominated this with or without the red card. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Lubo's. Yeah. For Bayern Munich are 5-0 up. Kane's got a brace and, oh gosh, Bayern Munich. And the reason I say that is because Vuskovic is playing in that game, isn't he? 19 corners. Is that the record? All right, some way off that. It just felt like we'd had millions. Do you know what I mean? Mickey Van der Ven got the 3rd. Here's Jared Bowen, though. Into the Spurs box. Shoots straight into the arms of Vicario. I know. We're bloody good from set pieces. Who would have thought we were allowed to be good from set pieces? God, it's been a strange start to this season, hasn't it? As it stands, Arsenal are 1 goal above us, top of the table. As it stands. Here's Bergval. Sweeps the ball across to Porro. Good ball into Bergval. Little flick, not quite there that time, but then West Ham have given the ball away. Here's Kudus. Tries to take his man on. He's got 2 for company. Lays it back to Porro. There's Romero. Sarr, his header didn't quite go into the path of anyone, but Spurs are winning every ball here, as you would expect against 10 men. Here's Porro, driving through, lays it off to Kudus. Kudus shoots, blocked, and there's an offside. It's an offside. So on comes... So Matisse Tell is coming off. And so is Jed Spence, I think. So Jed Spence is coming off for Destiny Udogie. And Matisse Tell is putting a good shift there. He's putting a good shift, Matisse Tell. Floating off the left. Got his assist. So more minutes into the legs of Destiny Udogie. And now 20 minutes for Richarlison to get in on the act. Simmons comes off, gets a cuddle from Cochrane. Lots of smiles. He's done some good bits. Yeah, I mean, he's done some good bits. I think he needs to get fit. He needs to get used to the team, but done some good bits. Am I drinking? Does water count? Second half. We have battered them this second half. Everything. Sorry, if I said Tell instead of Xavi. Sorry, I meant Xavi. Great tackle. Great tackle, Romero. Listen, if Tell stays on, fine. Then you've got more of a case study to say... sorry, I meant Xavi. Simmons had a good shift. Yeah. I think you all knew what I meant. I think you all knew what I meant. Right, he's had 90 minutes and a lot of this, and oh, good touch. Kudus with a showboat in. Lays it off to Pedro Porro. He lays it off to Paulinho. Who was it earlier who said Paulinho's finished? Who on earth said that? Here's Bergval. He's had a very good second half, Bergval. By the way, oh, hang on. Is Jed Spence, sorry, Destiny Udogie lays it back. There's the shot ball. Paulinho blocked and out for a throw-in. By the way, for Chelsea, Buonotti starts. Buonotti starts for Chelsea. And we know they're playing after this, aren't they? Right. It looks like Spurs are about to make 3 substitutions, I think, as we give away a free kick. I think I saw Brennan Johnson. I want to say Odegaard and Mawani. I might be making the second bit up. Brennan Johnson's definitely coming on. So is Odegaard. Brennan Johnson and Odegaard are coming on. Yeah, I can't believe somebody in the chat earlier said that Paulinho's finished. I think he makes such a difference. I'll be honest, I want 4 and 5. I want to be top tonight. Here's Bergval. Richarlison runs the channel. Lays it back into Kudus. Great touch. Good skill from Kudus. Goes past one. Got 2 men for company. Lays it back to Porro. He gives it to Paulinho. Paulinho back to Porro. To Paulinho. To Kudus. To Porro. He's kept it in to Bergval. And I think it might have gone off. I think it's a goal kick. So Danso, Odegaard, and Johnson are coming on. So sensible. We've got a game midweek. Sensible. Get Romero or Van de Ven off. There's no trouble now. Get Kudus off. Give him a rest. And Tell, I'm guessing, will be the other one. As Mickey Van de Ven gets the ball back to Vicario. And Vicario's been a bystander for most of this second half. So here's Vicario. So here's Christian Romero at the back. Giving it to Mickey Van de Ven. He plays the ball into Bergval. Bergval's got a spring in his step this second half. Gives it to Paulinho. Now Christian Romero. Much better second half. I know we can say we played half an hour against 10 men, but much better second half, much better tempo and moving the ball quicker. Here's Romero. Goes across to Van de Ven. The subs are waiting to come on. And here is Matisse Tell. Oh, he's just not it, is he? I'm so sorry, guys. He's not it. He's not it. By the way, people saying no Kolo Muani. Maybe he's going to start on Tuesday night. Maybe he's going to start on Tuesday night. So Matisse Tell goes off. So Mickey van der Ven is going off. Bergvall off. Mickey van der Ven and Tell for Johnson, Odeber and Danso. So Odeber will go left. Don't know where Johnson's going to go. Doesn't really matter now, does it? So here's Christian Romero at the back. Into Paulinho. I think he's had a really good game, Paulinho. Gives it to Porro. Porro plays a long searching ball to Sarr. Sarr lays it off to Kudus. Kudus couldn't get his shot away and then tripped. And then West Ham can bring the ball away. Does Tell do better on the left? I think he's poor wherever he plays. He is not for me at all. Not for me. So 10 minutes to go. And it was, listen, it was just so important to bounce back after the Bournemouth game, wasn't it? And that is a fun fact. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, I agree. Alfred, I agree. Anyway, Spurs now having all the ball, as you would imagine. West Ham. Yeah, West Ham sitting in with the 10 men. Here's Porro. And that's a poor ball out of play. And there's a free kick against Jared Bowen on Destiny Adogi. The West Ham fans not looking happy, as you can imagine. Not happy at all. A lot of them have left the ground. Here's Kudus, who's enjoying a little bit more of a free roll at the moment. Old Kudus. Here he is. Looks like he's got a bit more central. Sprayed a lovely ball out wide towards Johnson. And the ball ends up at the feet of Pedro Porro. And he gets it back to Pape Sarr. See you later, Stephen. You don't need to be here, mate. See you later. Bye-bye. Everyone wave to Stephen. Bye. Here's Destiny Adogi, wins the ball high up and couldn't make the most of it. And it's a throw into Tottenham, but Jared Bowen is down holding his ankle. Not sure how injured he is. He's still down. No, is he come? No, he's still down. I don't think it was a tackle. Yeah, I don't get it either. I'll critique whoever I want. When people, honestly, and when people come into my channel and tell me what to do, I just laugh at them. If they really don't like it, you start your own YouTube channel. So 5 minutes to go. Papa Sarr now lays it back to Christian Romero. I'm not allowed to say Stephen in the chat gets upset. Everyone else in the chat, would you like to tell Stack Crow about Matisse Tell? How's he been today? I'll let you guys fill him in. I know you would. I know people don't understand this. They just want to give us shit all the time. It's madness. Yeah, this game's just petering out a little bit now. The job is done. One more goal would have us level with Arsenal. West Ham are about to make a substitution. I think it's Irvine. Spurs just keeping the ball here. Not really having to do a lot. Here's Papa Sarr. Plays the ball out wide to Odeberg's got a chance now. He goes down the line. Here's Destiny Adogi. Dinks it across. Oh, I thought Richarlison might try and head of that, but he left it. I think he thought someone was behind him. Here's Papa Sarr. Sprays it out wide to Christian Romero. Back into Danso. Now here's Destiny Adogi to Odeberg. Stadium is emptying out, isn't it? The stadium is emptying out. Anyway, here's Pedro Porro driving down the line. But West Ham have dealt with that one. Here's Porro still getting back at him. No. Now West Ham are giving the ball away. Kudus gets it to Sarr. Sarr gives it to Wilson Odeberg. Here's Sarr. Here's Porro. Thinks the ball across, headed up in the air. And a great tackle by Paulinho. He loves a tackle, doesn't he? He loves a tackle. Now West Ham switch play. Carl Walker-Peters. Who's that? Is that Mummy? Is that Mummy? Can't see Mummy. You? Yep. Nearly finished. She comes in and goes, guess who's rolled around in shit again? Basically, Stanley's just gone for a walk and rolled around in shit. So he needs a bath. Brilliant. Oh. Here's Romero into Papa Sarr. Now Paulinia. 1 minute to go, plus injury time here. Sarr. It's nice. It's relaxed, isn't it now? It's relaxed. My man of the match, I'm going to give it to Paulinia. I think he's done a really good job in there. I think he's a very good player. Very good. And who was that person in here earlier who said he's done? So Papa Sarr now, we're just waiting to find out what's the injury time's going to be. I reckon it's going to be about 4, maybe. We're about to find out 5 minutes of injury time to cap off what's been a very comfortable second half for Tottenham Hotspur as we are second in the table as it stands. Here's Brennan Johnson. I forgot he came on. To Porro. Back to Brennan Johnson. Whip it in. Brennan Johnson's whipped it in. It's gone over everyone. Papa Sarr can bring the ball down. Come on, someone. Let's grab a fourth. There's the ball to Pedro Porro. Back to Papa Sarr. Back to Porro. He's got time for a cross. Whips it in. And it's down. A great save. Oh, he's in a bar. Oh, I tell you what. Great save by Hermanson. Great save. I'm not sure who had the shot. I think it was Kudus. Just can't grab that goal, can he? Let's have a look. Porro whipped it in. Kudus with the volley. Great save. Really good save from the keeper. And then Brennan Johnson was offside on the follow-up. Really, really good save by the keeper, though. I'll give him that. Fair play to him there, Hermanson. Can't have been an easy day for him. And Irving has come on. Irving has come on for James Ward-Prowse. Feel for Kudus there. I thought it was going to be his first Spurs goal there. I mean, look at the state of this comment. It's a failure. You should win by 5 goals. I mean, oh, come on. I'm not boasting. I'm just stating a fact. Just stating a fact. Got to remember, we were 17th last season, mate. Here's Destiny Adogi. I said 4-1, but hey, it is what it is. 3-0's not a bad result away from home, is it? Here's Pedro Porro. West Ham have just got everyone behind the ball, as you would imagine. There's a great ball. Here's Brennan Johnson. Lays it off for Charleston's missed it. Kudus. Oh, and his shot is blocked wide for a corner kick. Kudus turned. He span. He wanted that goal. I quite like Kudus since he's drifted into the middle. Oh, he was saying he could have left it for Paulinia. So that's what Paulinia was annoyed about. But in the end, it was, is that Irving or maybe Kilman got the block in to stop it being 4-0. So 1.5 minutes to go here. Corner kick. Swung into the 6-yard box. Oh, it's gone over everybody and out for another corner. Max Kilman. How many corners have we had? 15? Don't know. Is that 13, 14 corners that we've had? So 1 minute to go. Corner kick for Tottenham Hotspur. Can we get the fourth and round off a very good afternoon? Oh, good. I've got a wet Stanley here. Header over the bar. Header over the bar by Paulinho. I think he's had a very good game. Why are you being an idiot, Stanley? Why are you being an idiot? You should be tired. Paulinho with a header over the bar. 30 seconds of the game to go. And the man of the match has been given to Bergvall. Fair play. I thought he had a very good second half. First half, I thought it was a bit iffy, but second half, I thought he was excellent. And Lucas Bergvall, a brilliant header, by the way. Brilliant header. So, goal kick taken. I think the ref's going to blow. No, he's given a free kick, to Tottenham on the halfway line. And there it is. The game is over. 95 minutes done. Tottenham Hotspur have won 3-0 away at London rivals West Ham. West Ham going down to 10 men. Great headers from Sarr and from Bergvall. And then Mickey van der Ven finishing off. I'll give my proper match reaction in a minute. Hang on. 1 second. I'll give you my proper match reaction in a minute. But as always, 5 words, people. Give me 5 words to sum up today. 5 words. Listen, I thought the first half was slow. I'll do mine in a minute, actually. I'll do mine in a minute. I'm gonna clip it up as a short, so I'll do mine in a minute. Big up to Waka. Big up to you, Waka. Said footy has gone soft. Remember the muddy days. Yep, I remember the muddy days. Hang on 1 second. He is the worst player I've ever seen in a Spurs shirt. That's all I'm going to say. Look, it's 5 words. That's what we want. Big up, Waka. I remember the days of playing in the mud and when men would probably go crunching into each other in tackles. Now, everything is so soft, isn't it? Alfie has said 5 words. Poor refereeing, but good result. Fran Malvani has said should have got 40 in there. Yeah, listen, great save by the keeper. Blocked a couple of efforts over the bar. Listen, it could have quite easily been 4, 5 or 6. But what that does mean, let me remove this. Let me remove this. 1 second. Let me bring up the Premier League table for you. Obviously, Chelsea are playing at 8 p.m. So if they win, they will go top of the table tonight if they win. Let me show you the Premier League table, and then I'll give you my full assessment. There we go. Present, share screen. There it is. There it is. There is the Premier League table. No, let me move myself. There you go. There's the Premier League table. So Arsenal, let me blow that up a little bit, shall I? 1 second, people. Let's blow that up. There you go. So Arsenal played 4, won 3, draw none, lost 1. Goals for 9 and against 1. Identical to Tottenham, apart from they've got 1 more goal than us. So Tottenham in second with 9 points. Liverpool in third, but with a game in hand. Bournemouth complete the top 4 on 9 points. Chelsea on 7, but they play against Brentford in half an hour. Everton, a good start to the season for Everton. 7 points from 12. They would have taken that if you had offered that to them. Sunderland on 7 points as well. A good start for them. Crystal Palace are on 6 games and have 6 points. Have still not lost a game all season, Crystal Palace. And then Newcastle United, 5 points in 9th. If we scroll down a little bit, you could see there Fulham in 10th. Manchester United, 11th. Brighton, 12th. Nottingham Forest, 13th. Leeds, 14th after defeat today. Man City are in 15th. And they play in the Manchester Derby tomorrow. Burnley are 16th with a game in hand. Brentford are 17th. They play at Chelsea at 8 p.m. And West Ham Villa and Wolves complete the bottom three. Wolverhampton Wanderers have played 4. Let me show you. There we go. Wolverhampton Wanderers have played 4, lost 4, scored 2 and conceded 9. Not a good start from what was a very good performance last year from Vitor Pereira. So look, guys, let me give you my summary of the game. Let me try and sum this up in 2.5 minutes. Tottenham were, I think, sluggish to start the game, would be fair. I think we were sluggish to start the game. Wasn't really a lot of zip about our passing. Looked a little bit lost in the final third. Struggled to get Kudus and Xavi Simons into the game. But I think after about the first 25 minutes, 30 minutes, we did start to apply the pressure. A lot of crosses coming into the box, a lot of corner kicks, some really good crosses as well coming into the box, but didn't really have anybody there that could get on the end of it. You know, where you want a Solanke or a Richarlison, but it did pay off, right? And we went 1-0 up, or so we thought, with the disallowed goal from Christian Romero, which I'm going to be brutally honest, I'm not normally one to cry about referees, but that was shambolic. Never was that disallowed. So for me, that should have been definitely 1-0 at half time. But after that, lots of corners, lots of last-ditch headers and tackles from the likes of Kilman and Mavropanos. But we did end the first half quite strongly. Then in the second half, lots of moans and groans that Frank didn't change anything. But Tottenham Hotspur, if they were going to get a goal, it was going to come from a corner kick. And it did. A brilliant corner in from Xavi Simons on his debut, all the way to the back post. Papa Sarr, no one marking him. Bang, 1-0. Bang. Yeah, easy goal for Papa Sarr. And from there on, I thought Tottenham started to dominate and dominate and dominate. And then about 10 minutes after that, you had Souček. Mistimed his tackle is as fair as I can be to him. It wasn't a nice tackle. I don't think there was malice, but he got it completely wrong. Went down the shin of Paulinho, red card. And from that resulting free kick, the ball was laid off to Romero, who played a stunning pass just from the halfway line over the whole West Ham team. And Bergvall, bang, 2-0. Brilliant pass, brilliant header. And Bergvall then started to play. Bergvall, for me, an excellent second half. And then after that, West Ham down to 10 men, Spurs 2-0 up, and it looked like we were going to score with every attack. But then the third goal came. Bergvall wandered into the box. The ball actually got lost from underneath him, and Tottenham were 3-0 up because Mickey van der Ven got the ball, fired it into the bottom corner. So overall, a really good performance from Tottenham in the second half. First half, a bit hit and miss, but it doesn't matter. We are second in the table, should I say. We are second in the table. And I think that Spurs gave a really good account of themselves in that second half, started to control the game. West Ham with 10 men, for me, I didn't think they made it as difficult for us as some teams do when they go down to 10 men. Look, I would say good second half performances from the likes of Bergvall. I thought Kudus, very unlucky not to get his first goal with some blocked shots. And I want to give some credit to Hermansen because I thought that save he made from Kudus at the end there was a top draw save, low down with his left arm. I think it was his left arm. Yeah, low down. The only thing for me, I think we saw yet again that the Matisse Tell social experiment doesn't work. Unfortunately, he's just not good enough to be a Tottenham Hotspur footballer. Other than that, I think there were some really good performances. Bergvall being one. I thought Paulinho had a really good game. And I thought Mickey van der Ven and Romero did a very good job at the back today. Not the greatest game for Spence. Not the greatest game for him or Porro. But, hey, second half was in pure cruise control. So all in all, Tottenham Hotspur running out 3-0 winners to go second in the table. And more importantly than that, bouncing back after the defeat to Bournemouth. And that was really important to do. So we started this year 4 games, 3 wins. If I had said to you all 9 points from the first 4 games, you would have all bitten my hand off, right? You would have all bitten my hand off. So yes, there's things that need to be worked on. It wasn't the most fluid of performances, but we can't complain. Tottenham Hotspur have won 3 of their first 4 games, and away at Man City, away at West Ham. These aren't easy games, and we've got 6 points from 2 away games. So for me, that is how I would summarize the game. No, don't know if anyone agrees with me, disagrees with me. But look, it is what it is. We move on to our next games. We've got some winnable games. But hey, you know, it's okay to win games like that when you're not playing amazing. You know, it wasn't the greatest of performances. When they went down to 10 men, you can go one of 2 ways, right? That team either digs in and it's really difficult to break them down, or what Spurs did. Very professional, 2 quick fire goals and killed the game. So we also got minutes in the legs of Odegaard, Brennan Johnson. We got minutes into the legs of Danso as well. Who else came on? Who else came on? Why am I'm missing someone? Watchalong came on as well. JB Gaming said, "You still slagging off Bergvall? Slagging him off for what?" There's always one, isn't there? If you notice, most people come in and they're nice, and then you get twats like this. Bye, JB Gaming. See you later. So it's okay to play like that if you get the win. Listen, we're still finding out about Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank's still finding out about the players. We've seen, again, a different formation today with the 2 8s and no number 10. So we've seen a different formation today from what we saw last week to what we saw the week before. So there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on. But I think, first and foremost, 4 games, 3 wins, lots of positives. As I said, I do think there's a lot that needs to be worked on. Of course there is. There's loads that needs to be worked on. Thomas Frank knows that. There'll be so many things he's not happy about with that performance. But ultimately, 3-0 away to a London rival where we've not won for 6 years. I just don't think we can complain. Guys and girls, I'm going to read out a super chat and then I'm going to leave it there. I will come back tonight at 10 p.m. Big up to Andy. It was a good performance for the lads. Oh, sorry, hang on, I didn't bring that onto the screen. A good performance for the lads. Amazing what a bit of structure and coaching will do. Frank in and Ange in at Forest. Chin up Wolfie. Big up Sava. Yes, I knew we wouldn't be able to go a whole show without talking about Wolfie and about angepostecoglou. But big up to you, Andy. I really appreciate that. Listen, it's been a good day at the office for Tottenham Hotspur. Surely we can all be happy with that tonight. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. Much love. I'm going to send you over. Where am I going to send you over to? Bear with me 1 second. Let's send you over to somewhere. Obviously, you don't have to go there if you don't want to, but customization, redirect. Who's live? I'm sure there'll be loads of Spurs people live. Who's live? I'm going to send you over to Spurs Talk Show. I'll send you over to Sean. Please, when you get there, say Savarade and hell is awful. Much love to you all. Thank you very much. I'll see you at 10 p.m. as we break down the game. I'll get some guests on. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.